Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready?
We ready to go?
We're ready with the great Dov Davidoff.
Okay. All right, here we are.
Hold on.
Yeah. No, don't wear those socks like that with those shoes.
It's green socks?
The green socks go with my pants/gold.
Two different greens.
A little bit messed up.
That's whatever.
Did they also go with your Dr. Zeus Child's book at home? What the fuck?
Hey, come on, bro.
Here? Show this
Hey,
stuff.
come on, man. Dr. Seuss
Dr.
Child's.
Zeus. It hit him really hard right
No,
out
I
of the
read
box.
the adult
You
Dr.
come in
Seuss.
hot.
Yeah, coming in hot.
Dov Davidoff here. You're going to be at
everybody.
Cobb's this weekend in San Francisco.
Cobb's in San Fran.
That's a great club.
Yeah, no, it's a good spot. San
Let's
Fran's
see
a
one
good
of the
town.
best. Dov Davidoff, what are you doing? What's going on?
Life shit?
Yeah.
Like, what are we
Talk to us
what are
about
we doing?
relationships, Dov.
Listen, a lot of things are going on. I have a major, in terms of, there's professional stuff and personal stuff and
Bring
trying to deal with
both,
my
man.
own
We got-
psychology in the context of a relationship. And, and then you have a kid and then you're trying to build the building and then you're
Just
trying to
had a
write
kid.
comedy and then you're trying to stay on top. This social media thing, I've got such a learning curve now. I was retarded.
Yeah.
But then again, I
had a
I left
resistance.
LA and I went to build a building. I had a resistance.
To social media?
Dov is this guy, right?
I didn't know how to do it. I said, I'm going to go back. But I think there was an arrogance too, like doing a TV show, doing that. I was like, I didn't need it, but I should have. It's a tool that is very worthwhile if it's used well. And you guys use it really well.
Yeah.
And I feel like I dove into, business. I stayed doing stand-up, but I just wasn't on top of.
But you're also doing a lot of
it.
TV, right? Like Crashing and all
Yeah,
that.
I was doing 2 TV shows for 3 years. Yeah, back and forth.
Crashing, what's the other one?
Crashing in the Shades of Blue.
With Jennifer
With
Lopez.
Lopez. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
J-Lo.
Dude,
Yeah.
J-Lo in person.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. But listen, it's
a good time.
It's a good time.
The best of times.
It's one of the best of times. No, listen, she keeps it together. Although that kind of drive at her age, it's conspicuous.
It's exhausting, huh? What's she doing?
She's the halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but also chill. At some point, just relax, girl.
$2 You got 3 kids.
Yeah, get the cheeks out. Hit the sun.
You want to
hit
stay
the pool.
relevant. You want to stay relevant.
She'll always be relevant.
You want to
Legend.
stay relevant.
Legend.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about legend, but,
oh, man.
I don't know. I think there's some value in achieving a graceful irrelevance. Like if you gotta be relevant and you're putting it out, there's one thing, as on the come up.
Yeah.
But at some point, if you have a few kids, you're gonna go fishing or
That's like that
agree.
Kevin Hart doc when he's like, I'm gonna be the first billionaire, and he's in like this $60 million mansion in Bel Air. He's like, I'm gonna be a billionaire, and he's flying here and doing that. I'm like, dude,
No, it's a bad
go home.
Go home.
But go home to your kids, dude.
Yeah.
Billionaire for what?
Yeah.
You have money upon money, but
It-
your kids, grandkids are set for life. Dude,
Right.
go home.
Well, I think that if you love stand-up, like I talked to Bill Burr, and he goes, I'm going to be doing this till I'm a geriatric,
Yeah.
which makes sense because stand-up,
Yeah.
that challenge never goes away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that ambition to dominate, that ambition to have
That comes from
all
that lizard
stuff.
brain, the amygdala. It comes from all that needing to control an environment because we were dead in the forest 10,000 years ago. It's all evolutionary.
But
It's
isn't
not- nobody can make an argument that's making you any happier. It's like, hey, I've got 2 or 3 sandwiches. It's
Yeah.
all I can eat.
Yeah.
If you had 100 more sandwiches, what would that do? Like, no, it doesn't. It's about something else. It's no
He's
longer
trying
about
to fill
material.
some void. All the
It's
The
always
Rock
a
doesn't
void.
need to do 21
Yes.
blockbuster
Of
movies every year.
course.
Hey, dude, look at me. Go home.
Dov and
Go home.
Dov and I are talking to this guy, handsome guy with a smoke show girl, and I don't know if you remember this, we're at a bar. We're just talking like this, and the guy shows up, and he starts talking to us. He goes, "You're an actor?" or something like comics. He goes, "Oh, that's great. That's great." And he starts talking, and he goes, "I have my MBA, and I'm a surgeon. So, and I got this thing." And Dov looks at him and goes, "Oh, you're lost." And he was so lost.
He pulled the card out right away.
Yeah, he had all these
He was
accomplishments.
he was
gave
super
us
insecure.
He gave us 15 accomplishments.
Super insecure.
15. He told us about the house, and Dov went. Dov heard it and went, "Wow."
Listen, what do I know? Like we all have, insecurities, and drive is generally good until it's it's not.
No, the
right?
best was you having the argument with the CIA agent. The CIA agent who talked about, we're not going to make as much money. And Dov goes, "How much do you need?" And the guy goes, "As much as I can make." And Dov, that was it. Dov went off on him. It was so uncomfortable. At one of the top agencies, going after him, and the guy kept going like this.
But he didn't have any good answers. Yeah, exactly. Because after a while, look, all of the data associated with all of the PhDs studying happiness is there are money correlates up until a certain point. If you can have your kid educated, you have some fun. Look, if a guy's putting some money into a race car, like that's a unique experience. If you're just doing it to acquire stuff to fill something that isn't there, it's clearly a hollow pursuit, and it clearly doesn't work, as evidenced by every psychologist you'd ever want to talk to, and or your own anecdotal experiences. For God's sake, you live in fucking LA. How many douchebags driving through, taking a Bugatti through a Sunoco?
Yeah.
Hey, is anybody looking? I don't know. Do your kids still talk to you? You fucking suckerfish.
Suckerfish.
Sorry.
Suckerfish.
Dov said, sometimes I'm afraid I'm going to end up as that guy with his shirt that's buttoned down too low, couple chains. I got a hooker in a convertible, and I'm asking.
Oh, no. I used to have a nightmare that I would see. I fucked things up with my ex, and she was a good person. And I had a nightmare that I'd be on one side of the street on Sunset Strip over by the comic store, and then she'd be on the other side of the street. Except she's got a kid and a husband, and they're eating ice cream, and they're happy, and it's bright. There's sunlight, and then on my side it's raining, and I'm just all wet. And I'm sitting there with Dom Irera, and I got an open shirt on, and I'm talking to some chick about how I know people with good coke. I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm gonna save my soul while the getting's good.
It's so fucking easy to become that guy.
You can become that guy if you're not careful.
Oh God.
If you're not careful, yeah. But anyway, But this is good. What you guys have done is excellent. To build this thing from the ground up, it's great.
You know what though? It was like this. We had Conor McGregor on the podcast a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Brendan just looked at me and he goes,
Did you guys know that guy had the kind
it was
of...
when he was already huge.
Oh, you guys were...
No,
he was already...
He was just getting there. He was fighting like Diego Brando.
He was about to fight.
I remember that fight.
He was about to fight.
He put him away.
Right after he got into Jose Aldo's face.
After the knockout of the Diego Brando, I think?
No, it was after he beat up Chad Mendes.
Oh, that's right.
And he jumped out.
So he wasn't the international
right. He was a contender at that point.
He was big.
And that was, once he beat up Mendes, that answered the wrestling question, and then he fought for a title after that.
Yeah, and we got him in between before he fought Aldo.
Yeah.
And then Brendan goes, you just keep doing this. This is what we're going to do. I go, what? He goes, we just keep doing this. See this? You just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Two podcasts a week, no matter what, all the time. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Well, we've basically done that. I don't know how many podcasts we've had, but it's been 6 years, man.
Yeah, this one, I
Has
don't
it been
know.
6
This
years
one only
now?
scores to how many?
528.
Yeah, but then how many did we have on Fox?
I was just told by somebody who knows
be close to
better
1,000.
too that our podcast keeps growing, and a lot of podcasts are not. And it's pretty wild.
Great.
Thank you to the fans.
Yeah.
Well, because you got two grown men having wrestling matches.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That doesn't hurt.
No.
If you want to go at it right now, you said the word. I'm
Yeah.
working on my second stripe on my white belt.
Oh, I'll watch that. Oh, go to his school. You'll be a black belt in 2 days.
We could go. We can.
They're gonna go. Dov, you on HBO Crashing? Give him a purple belt.
No, I've heard that. I've heard they move people along too quickly in some of these places.
No, I'm just kidding.
Not in Higgins. Not in Higgins.
All right, have a good day, guys.
Yeah, that's our
I'll see you later. Thanks a lot.
That was a hot 10, huh?
Hey, but I feel like there's a lot of guys in New York besides Andrew Schultz who just took to social media and fucking YouTube like a banshee.
Fix
but
that.
A lot of New York guys are like.
How do we?
Hey,
Just turn it. Yeah, there you go.
wait a sec.
A lot of the
Now it's too loud.
Do you know? Yeah, is there an observation you have about New York? Because I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not
I feel
up
like
on-
the New York guys, like all of the New York comics, like the comics, all of them are kind of like, oh, social media.
There
YouTube.
is a New
I'm like,
Yorkie
cool,
thing.
But then just look at LA.
I know they're
man.
not. They're not
Look who's
moving a lot of
moving
tickets. I know. Look,
And you have
listen,
some of the greatest.
listen, David Tell's one of the greatest there's
if
ever
not
been.
the great. Yeah, he's the best. He has
and
7.
He's
followers.
prolific. There's a genius aspect. Yeah, I know. No, I know. There's definitely
Even the younger guys, though, like
pushback.
Dan Soder, Mark Norman, Bergazzi,
Yeah,
all like the big boys over there.
Bergazzi's
It's
just like, yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with it.
I know.
very
I
un-New York.
wonder what it was.
They're not from New York, though.
No, but
That's the
early
problem.
on,
Self-promotion
no,
is always
it's not just from New York. It's that culture. I remember early on going into the Comedy Cellar, and I would check my clothes so that Patrice, Jim Norton, and David Tell couldn't attack. Not David Tell, Colin Quinn, Patrice,
Jesus
and Jim
Christ.
Norton.
Jesus.
And like
So what,
they
so
would
they
no,
couldn't
but they
attack you?
kept it in such a way. Well, verbally, they would just look you up and down, be like, "Son, your eyes are too close together." Patrice would come. I mean, there would always be,
You knew
and they
Patrice
kept
well,
it.
huh?
Well, I didn't know him that well, but I knew him well enough to know that, like, anything you did that felt like you were trying to sell something. So it's almost like if you think about music in the 60s where nobody did commercials, and then you think about music, in the 80s or 90s or now,
Especially
it's
90s,
not so bad to sort of monetize certain things. There was a culture I think where anytime you tried to push and market in a sense that wasn't straight comedy, those guys had a beef, and I think there's some residual aspect of that. Like you listen, you don't want
Jim
to just
was on
be a
radio,
whore, but at the
like
same time,
like Jim Norton he's been on radio he's a huge radio personality.
Absolutely.
So he was basically doing podcasting and his stand up. And there's a reason why Jim's so big and Jim's such a good comedian.
Yeah, Jim's a great comic.
Jim was one of the first ones in New York how long has he been doing radio? Phenomenal.
A long time, but they wouldn't see radio as social media. They would see radio as radio.
Yeah.
And so I think
Patrice was on there all the time too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Patrice would have been a great podcaster.
No, but listen, there's a way. Look, there's a way to do it. It's not going away. If you're a horse and buggy builder, and Ford comes out, at some point you got to go, listen, I've got to incorporate the combustion engine.
You were the fucking guy after the iPhone 5 was already out. 6. He calls me and he goes, I got this iPhone. This thing's great.
Well, and then if you can
but I had an arrogance, right? I had a bit of an arrogance, and I also had a couple of bucks, and I was also really involved. At that point, I had an opportunity to go and build, the capitalization on this project is $17 million. It's not all mine, but we're building a project. And so when you get really involved in that, the idea of going on to something that is sort of, I didn't know what it is who I'm talking to or why I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
I do know now. And under Brian's tutelage.
Oh, wow.
I've gone from very little followers to a lot more, but still a very small amount. But
how much resistance did I have? If I didn't know,
dude.
if I wasn't,
I know. I know.
How many times was I drilling it?
Yeah.
In your
No.
head?
I know.
Still,
like Brian, come on.
I remember talking to Brendan. And he was like, "Yeah, I mean, look, there's a way to engage without becoming a whore, and so you're always trying to walk that line."
Unless you're at a certain level, like Dave Chappelle has zero social media presence.
He was grandfathered in. It's almost like having a liquor license.
Yeah. But he's but
no YouTube.
All due respect, I don't think Dave
he doesn't
sells
go
that
on.
many tickets.
Chappelle doesn't go on. What the hell are you talking
Chappelle. I thought you were talking
Chappelle
about
and Rock. No, none of them go on.
No,
I thought you were saying Attell.
Dave sold out Radio City Hall. I think.
No, I thought you were talking about Dave Attell.
Yeah. But
Dave
Dave does okay. I mean, he'll go out with Jeff Ross and those guys. Like,
he's great.
When they do bumping mics together, but Jeff Ross is a beast on social media.
Yes, right.
So he posts it.
That's right. But some of it's like when it's comics just like doing some like goofy crowd work, and then they post a thumbnail like, you're not gonna believe what happened on this show.
I know.
And then it's a banner across and it's clickbait. Like listen, you gotta be able to to thread that needle. You gotta be able to market and say, hey, I'm here, I'm funny, I'm gonna be at Cobb's, come out, and at the same time, I just don't.
But we come from a generation where you were supposed to be a misfit. You were not supposed to be into your career. Because stand-up was there in a lot of ways. It was a fuck you to acting. Stand-up was always that thing. It was like we belonged to a tiny group.
You didn't have so many gatekeepers.
We belonged to a tiny group, and yeah, Sean Penn's awesome. Come follow me sometime, motherfucker. It was that idea, right?
Yeah, and those guys were all,
So it was the anti-comedy. It was the anti-career. It was drugs.
Imagine a guy,
drugs,
so take a guy like that. If you were into Mickey Rourke or Sean Penn or those guys, imagine that guy going, hey, look at what happened in the front row. And he's got a big smile and a mic painted with zebra stripes.
Daniel Tosh makes fun of it. Daniel Tosh makes fun of it. Like I remember someone asked him to do their podcast, and Tosh goes, why would I do that? He goes, why do I do that?
Is that what he said?
He goes, what do I need to do it for?
Yeah, he's always been that way.
He goes, why would I do it? But then he also on his show, he'll do like social media humor, like just poking fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like the memes and stuff. Like that's not.
The bottom line is that it's
a great
way. It's a great way to have control over how you are portrayed. You can use social media to be funny.
Absolutely.
And
you're your own publicist.
It's huge. It's changed everything.
Yes.
Yes, there are some people who got away with not doing it because they got grandfathered in.
Well, they're the biggest.
They don't stick around.
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, not usually, but I mean, sometimes if it depends on what's going on and what they're trying to sell. But it's like, what the fuck are you looking at? I take my jacket off and you're staring at me. You're mean mugging me.
Yeah, he was.
Hey!
Yeah, get him, Tom.
Watch out, man! Look at my head.
Give him the New York.
Right there.
See that?
You want to be past the hips.
Now try it with Brendan.
I'm not going near Brendan.
Please don't.
I'm not going near Brendan.
Please no.
It's not bad.
It's
not bad.
I'm gonna pass this now.
Easy, because I like your hips. Yeah, I like that right there.
There you go.
Are you still boxing, Doug?
I box a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not moving around much, but
how's your knee?
Knee's not great, but
exactly.
I find whoa, you gonna take advantage of my knee?
Yeah.
I find that as I get older, as you if you're doing some jitsu and then striking, you keep it like 3 and 3
Yeah, you can't do
days a
all
week.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're banging on a bag all the time or getting punched in the, it's I find that the injuries stick.
You might
around
know more
longer.
about fighting in terms of boxing and jiu-jitsu than any actor / comedian.
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody that knows more than me, but I know more than the average guy going, hey, when's Conor McGregor? Hey, remember Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Shut up.
But you do know all the you're a true boxing fan.
Yeah, no, I stay on top of all of that. Yeah, no, I'm passionate
Even
about
now, you're still in
following
it.
that.
I feel like
I do.
I feel like boxing had the as an employee of Showtime, but I feel like they had the boxing world by the nuts, man. When it was like Fury and Deontay and Joshua,
they're gonna fight again next month.
And like, yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
it's nowhere near what
Nowhere
it was.
near, yes.
But they like
Right.
everything was the heavyweight division was booming. You had Spence, you had Crawford, you had Canelo, Triple G. Like
Yes.
everything was just
Yes.
you're like fuck, boxing's never
Yeah.
been better. And then now it's just like
I don't
they
know if
just
it's a
can't
promoter.
hang on to it, man.
I don't know what's going on with DAZN, right? I mean, they have those fighters under contract that I don't know what kind of fights they're making. I haven't seen a lot going on there. They spent $350 million or something on Canelo,
a bad
and now they may
business
not be
plan.
able to finance other guys.
Highest contract of all time.
Yeah, something like that.
Highest
I mean,
athlete contract
over the
of all time.
course of like they have them locked
It's
in for
7
X amount of
fights.
time. Is it 7 fights?
350 million, 7
7
fights.
And there's probably a loss clause in there or something. They probably don't continue to pay at that scale if you're dropping fights.
I don't know, man. I don't know if
really?
you'd sign it if
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
like supposed to be guaranteed money. But I
don't
know
know.
even DAZN was like, all right, we got to switch business plans.
Yeah.
'Cause we forked out so much
Yeah.
money, man. And in the U.S., the market's not. It's just, but they make
Well, they're
their,
banking on
they make
Mexico,
their,
right? They get a lot of
They
Mexico.
make their
they get a lot
money off
international
of
attention.
international.
Yeah.
They're huge over in
Yeah.
Europe and shit.
Do you guys have a tissue or something?
Oh, we can grab
like
some.
that? Yeah, just grab paper towel.
But-
I was
but,
doing
yeah.
a lot of blow.
A lot of blow, man.
Lot
But
of
yeah, I felt like boxing like a year ago, year and a half, 2 years ago was just booming, man. And then now it's like
I know what you mean. There's always an ebb and a flow in boxing, whereas it seems like in MMA, like they're consistently putting out competitive fights.
because they're giving you the
But
fight you
yeah.
want, but they're giving you the fight you
You got
boxing
one
never
fucking
does.
guy in control that has an. I mean, yeah.
Like everyone, everyone's like, oh,
Not in
UFC's a
control,
monopoly. It's like, yeah, but it's the NFL of mixed martial
But
arts.
even
We get
Bellator's
exactly
put
what
on-
we
Who are
want
the
to see.
biggest draws at the UFC though? The biggest draws.
I mean, there's so many, but
There aren't so many, though.
There are though, but the point is
No,
in
you're right.
boxing,
You're
like
right.
Earl Spence and Crawford
And
should fight.
Crawford should fight.
But they have two. So you basically have one guy in Bellator, one guy in UFC.
Yeah.
They're never gonna.
I haven't even seen. Listen, the Charlo brothers have been on. They're beating everybody for a long time. The Tony Harrison fight I thought was great. Nobody
Great
knew.
fight.
I know, but they're not able to communicate it to the public in such a way. I couldn't find anybody to talk about it with.
I know. Charlos are so talented, man.
They're
and
great.
marketable, and they're great.
But they're not fighting anybody that anybody knows. Neither one of them.
That's why I have
They've been
Canelo
trying to
number
make a
one.
Canelo fight.
That's why I have Canelo number one, pound for pound number one. Because everyone wants to say
Thank you so
Crawford
much.
and
Thank you.
Spence. I'm like, no, they're not fighting anybody. Canelo's actually fighting dudes and
Canelo's
beating them.
taking risks.
Different weight classes.
Kovalev, listen.
And they
he
go,
was on the
Kovalev's
full
over.
end.
I'm like, okay, tell me the last guy Terrence Crawford beat. Tell me the last guy Spence beat.
Yes, that's right.
Granted, he beat
No,
Mikey
no.
Garcia, smaller Mikey Garcia, but still.
And Crawford is
Sean-
over
Sean
at Bob Arum. Is over at Aram's company,
It's
and they're not.
It's just
making
such a
the fights.
shame, man.
And every time I talk to you, like I was talking to Brian's guy who was who used to train in Mayweather's camp and all, and he was like, he thought it was Arum, and then other people say that it's why am I blanking on his name? The other huge
Herman?
promoter in boxing. No,
No,
there's
don't say
only
Herman.
one other huge guy who is he controls. There's DAZN, there's Arum, and then there's PBC.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's all jammed up.
It's just weird, man.
And
but
they've
it's
got
also
to-
like with Joshua.
Yeah.
And the Ruiz
Al
stuff. Al Heyman, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Joshua and the Ruiz stuff, right? And then he beats Ruiz, and they're like, well, let's run it back a third time. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's over, dude. No, hey, motherfucker.
I know.
Fight the winner of Fury Wilder.
Of course.
What are you three doing?
Of course.
You owe it to us. What are you guys doing?
Can't Joshua do that? Can't he
Nope,
say?
he can't do anything.
He can't. He
Nope,
can't be like,
he does
I wanna
whatever
fight those
Hearn
guys.
says. He does whatever fucking Eddie Hearn says.
But Eddie Hearn, he could.
Who was it? Was it Dana White?
He's
that
also
said-
making all the money though, because he made what $80 million to beat up fucking a fat Andy Ruiz Jr.
I know, but if you're not,
so when they go, here's 80, you're like, all right,
That's a lot of
we'll keep
money.
going.
But how are we promoting the next generation of draws if every fight, I think I'm using Dana White's language, he said every fight in boxing is a going out of business sale. They're grabbing all the ticket dollars they can, and then on the main card, you could be watching an undercard. You could be watching a co-main that's excellent. I mean, every now and then they'll
It's very
promote a
rare.
guy.
It's very rare.
They'll go from the only reason anybody buys a pay-per-view is to watch the main. It's
You know what? The last
not
like
well built for a
last,
sustainable business.
The last card that was like stacked and pure boxing aficionados gonna be like, dude, come on.
Oh.
But it was when Logan Paul KSI. That was your main event, which got all these eyeballs. But the undercard was fucking stacked. Billy Joe Saunders. You had that Garcia kid.
I know.
You had Haney. Like there was all these young,
It's a good point.
talent. And you're like,
Billy Joe Saunders,
dude,
tremendous.
Hopefully he gets Canelo next.
I want to see
Get
that.
Canelo.
Billy Joe Saunders Sanders.
Would that happen?
Oh yeah, they were talking about
Dude,
it.
that'd be so exciting.
Billy Joe has the talent to do it, man.
Well, and nobody wants to fight that guy.
No, well,
right? Over here,
here's the problem. When he fought he was the co-main event on the Logan Paul KSI. He fought a guy no one really knew. It was like his coming out party. And he thought
He didn't look
all
that.
these young eyeballs were going to translate. They were so off on that, but he didn't look great. So in Canelo's cage side, ring side, so it's like, fuck, dude.
And he's not a knockout guy. Have you seen Saunders fight?
Oh my God, he's so
against Lemieux.
Oh my God!
Unbelievable.
Lemieux didn't even have a shot. I mean, he was so
Lemieux's a
outclassed.
killer.
Lemieux was a banger, a frightening
Brian,
guy.
go get some water. Get us some water.
Yeah, Brian, take a fucking
Hey guys,
walk.
I want to be part
When
of
we
this. I
talk
saw the
Lemieux.
fight.
Here's where
Couldn't have been
boxing's
better
at.
looking. You imagine being Lemieux walking around Montreal?
Dude, but here's where boxing's at is DAZN had to go, let's get this YouTuber, Logan Paul, who I love. He's a good dude. I know people hate. I love Logan Paul. He's
What
a
do you
good
love
dude.
about him?
He's actually a good person, and he's beat the game
Okay.
for what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You
He's
know
also
better than
only
I do. I don't
23
have
and
any.
He's 23
No,
making
listen,
$40 million a year.
Yeah.
So hate on me you want. But here's the thing, though. He didn't have to take that boxing match. But my thing is with DAZN, this is where boxing's at. They have Canelo. They have Triple G, all this. But they have to use Logan Paul's celebrity to book and sell a fight and then put legit boxes underneath.
I know.
You think that's sustainable?
Of course not.
That's the fucking
So what do you?
business,
of course
man.
not.
So do you? The way you
No,
fix that is you
yeah.
get the best fighters to fight each other.
You gotta have the best fighters, just like the UFC is doing. But then also, if you want to live in that Logan Paul KSI world, you create a card of all YouTube fights, which they have so many subscribers and all that. That thing's gonna sell like crazy.
Absolutely.
But then you also do a pure boxing one.
Yeah.
But don't mix them.
Let me ask you this: Isn't
'Cause
the
that young fan base ain't watching.
But see,
Billy
this
Joe
is where
Saunders.
social media can
I
get
don't know
in
if
the
you
way.
know this and whether you follow this, but the UFC was holding that huge note. So who bought it? William Morris.
Yeah,
whatever,
that big
And they were
group,
holding a $4 billion note or something like that.
$2 billion.
Something like that. And I think the issue was how do we? We're not making enough money to service this debt.
The pay-per-view model.
Correct.
But then ESPN came out.
Okay. And they bail them out.
They had the biggest year they've ever had. UFC
did.
made the most money they've ever made last year.
That's what I was going to ask
a
you.
big year, yeah.
So, but
Now they don't care about your pay-per-view.
they don't.
They don't care that they don't.
Well,
have
it's a
all these
different
pay-
model,
It's a different
right?
model.
I mean, they want
Pay-per-view
you
model's
to
out.
order it.
Pay-per-views. Why?
That's all they used to do, but now they have.
But the bump for ESPN is the subscribers, and so if they don't sell that many pay-per-views, it's still in theory a win, provided they sell
They get paid
enough.
no matter what. They made
Yeah.
they made a deal to the guaranteed money. So now
the-
ESPN goes, thanks for all
the
the
draws,
content."
the draws in the UFC, Masvidal right now, still Nate Diaz, definitely Conor McGregor, of course. Khabib, draw.
Yeah, he's huge.
Tony Ferguson for sure. But is that among fans?
Not Tony.
Against
Right.
one guy.
Against
Khabib. Everybody's waiting for that.
Everyone that you just listed is only big if they're partnered with the right person.
Right, that's what
which
I'm
would be
saying.
Conor and Khabib.
So the UFC doesn't
In
have a lot
between,
of superstars.
hot
Doesn't have
and
a lot of
cold in
draws.
here.
Masvidal,
That's on purpose though.
It's
they
literally
don't
in
care.
between
They're
hot and
not
cold.
in the
What the
business
fuck's
anymore.
up with the weather in here?
They're not in the business of making blockbuster Marvel movies. They don't care
why?
because ESPN covers it or not. They're just trying to put on good fights.
Just
The
put on
fights you
good
want, there you
fights.
go.
Just good fights.
And then the big Conor fights, they'll get
But and
covered with
look
the
at
pay-per-view,
what that's done for the product, right? Dana White's model. I mean, the brilliant. I don't know if it's brilliant, but
It's
in
brilliant.
every other sport
It's
you
brilliant.
want. No, it's definitely brilliant. But the point I was making was that every other sport, the objective is to put on competitive competition, so and so if you lose. It's okay. I still want to see you play the game again.
Correct.
In boxing, if you're not 20-0, you can't garner any goddamn leverage in the business, which is an awful business model.
The
So
worst
we
business
can't
model.
match you up in any competitive, exciting fights until you're a guy that means something money-wise. And then that whole relationship between champion and contender and how much, you're not seeing all these young fighters in competitive situations.
And they have
in
young
MMA,
guys, but they
I
have
don't
young
care if
guys.
you have 8 losses on your record or 10 losses on your record. If you're an exciting fighter, I want to watch Mike Perry fight every time he fights.
You watch Don Cerrone fight.
I
every
would love to.
Saturday.
If he fought tomorrow, I'd watch him tomorrow,
He's
and I
lost
bet
3 in a
buy the
row. You
pay-per-view.
watch him every-
I don't give a fuck.
I know.
And in
That's
boxing,
what's great about UFC.
But yeah, 100%. In boxing, you're killing it. A guy gets outpointed, and then we don't see him again against anybody competitive.
I wonder why they don't figure it out though, because we all know this, and they have numbers.
We all know it, and
It's
they
like
have
Danny
numbers.
Garcia fought on Showtime. Didn't you guys know that? He fought some random Russian.
Yeah, I
dude.
did, but
Here's
I-
the problem.
Red Catch. Ivan Red Catch.
Tough guy.
Yeah,
Contender.
good guy.
No one
I know,
watched.
I know.
No one watched, and
know.
he didn't knock him out.
Jared Hurd was on the undercard.
He didn't. Yes, who's a stud.
Yeah,
But he
badass.
also
Still champion?
He's coming, but
he's coming back. But here's the
He'll
thing:
fight for-
is Danny
the champion
Garcia?
lost.
Danny Garcia, yeah, he lost. Danny Garcia didn't get a great performance. So then it's like, all right, well, what do you do with him?
I know, and he's against a tough guy, but the fact that every time you step in the ring, you gotta twist somebody's head around like The Exorcist. It's like in order to garner any attention from the public, like there has to be a
Canelo.
way. I know, and Canelo's an exciting
He's the
guy.
best. He's the best.
But boxing, if boxing is contingent upon one dude, what happens when you know?
who is
No,
next?
you mean Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, well,
and now
Floyd's
they're
out.
well.
Now
but
it's
even now,
Canelo.
Yeah, but I
Now
heard
it's Canelo's the face.
isn't there talk of Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement and fighting Canelo?
Fighting
all
who?
bullshit. No,
Fighting who?
No.
Canelo.
The fuck out of
He
here.
would
He's
never
not-
do that.
He will
a
get
50-year-old
murdered.
Floyd, a 50, whatever the fuck.
Floyd's in his 40s, and he'll get killed he'll get
He knows
murdered.
that. He would never do
You
that.
think so?
You're
That's
right.
not true.
You're right. And he's
Don't-
steering
don't-
clear of Errol Spence. Floyd doesn't want to box any high-level
No,
boxers.
I think Callan started this rumor. The only rumor is him fighting Connor or Masvidal or something like bullshit. Not fighting real boxers.
Yeah,
Canelo-
if you can,
Canelo
right.
would
If you can box an MMA
steamroll
dude,
through him right
oh
now.
my
He's in his
god,
prime.
Yeah, but
yeah,
Floyd's
man, you got to
40
remember
something.
when did he fight Floyd? Canelo lost to Floyd. on
Canelo
points
was
8
21 years
ago,
old or
9 years ago.
19
Couldn't you
Yeah.
say? Wouldn't you have said the same
Hey,
thing about?
stop this.
You wouldn't you have said the same
Brian,
thing
this is-
about?
stop this.
No,
Brian, you're out of line.
You would have said the same thing about who fought in through his 50s.
Who's that?
Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's not true. Bernard Hopkins was fighting
was gonna fight-
high-level guys
Yeah.
all the way through
Yeah.
up until the end. Floyd has been out of high-level competition for years.
He fought-
you
he
can't
fought
come back and fight
Pacquiao.
Fought Pacquiao 6-7 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Less than that. When did he
I
fight
don't-
Pacquiao?
Probably 6 years
15.
ago.
He-
B, it's a bad. It's
a bad-
Please stop. It's hurting
Really?
my feelings. Yeah. It's
You
making me
think
feel
you
sick.
get steamrolled?
Hey, it's making me feel sick.
But he's never lost.
Yeah,
And
I
he
know.
made
I
Canelo
know.
looks
Yeah, I
like
know.
an amateur when he fought him.
Yeah,
Listen, we all wanna see
Canelo
him
was
fight
19 when they fought. He was reason. You know why he did it?
I understand.
Because he knew he was like really young. He's going to be the next thing.
Floyd's
So he
fought
did it at that
everybody, but he
age
chose.
on
He
purpose.
chose well.
It's the same thing Stylbender's doing with John Jones. Stylebender
Yeah,
talked about it. He goes,
yeah.
they offered me the fight a year ago.
I'm waiting.
Right,
I'm waiting for him to get older.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my young ass and beat his ass.
Right, yeah.
He goes, it's a Canelo Floyd thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a shame. I would have loved to see him fight Pacquiao when Pacquiao was at his zenith.
You know what?
He was
That's
killing
boxing,
everybody.
though,
I know it
isn't
is. I know.
That's
I know.
boxing in a nutshell.
You don't have Dana White
we
making
waited
fights.
for how long?
Years.
And that's the thing.
That fight
that's
was
the thing about
4 or
Dana.
5 years after-
you get it
after
done.
past its
That's
prime.
the thing. You get it. You get exactly what you want. That's what's great about the UFC.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. That's why I can't wait.
cold
to
and
see,
hot.
I can't wait to see Connor
cold and hot.
Masvidal.
Conor Masvidal, they're not going to fight. You think they're going to fight, Brendan? I mean, you know better than I do. I mean, I'm just running my mouth.
I'll tell you what I don't think.
I have a laptop.
I don't think that Conor's fighting Khabib next. That's insane to even discuss.
That's the
'Cause
fight they're
Khabib
trying to
has
make,
fight-
right?
They're not. Khabib has to fight Tony Ferguson
Yeah.
in April,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is going to be a massive
Yeah.
war.
That's not a gimme
And
fight,
then Conor, and one thing Conor doesn't do, he doesn't lie. So if he goes, hey, I'm going to be active this year, it's
Yeah.
Conor fighting season.
Right, yeah.
I'm fighting 3 times this year.
Right.
So if you just go based off that, Khabib's not next.
Yeah.
So there has to be someone there, whether it's
Yeah.
Gaethje, whether it's Masvidal, that would be next. I'm sorry, am I getting paid to do
Gaethje's
this?
frightening.
Is this,
Do I get paid
is
for
this
this?
Showtime?
No, but that Gaethje's frightening, right? Look, I'm not saying Conor couldn't do it. Conor, I guess, could beat anybody at 55 in theory, except for Khabib. But Gaethje's a frightening guy. He's a weird guy to fight.
He's a weird guy. If he uses his wrestling, it'd be different. But he just sits there and slugs with Conor. I think he gets lit up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, maybe. I mean, maybe that's the fight to make. But don't you think Masvidal, like,
It'd be,
the way
Mas-
he
it'd be
handled
Masvidal.
Diaz?
It'd be Masvidal because
Has to be
because even if you were to lose to Masvidal, like, he's a bigger dude.
He's a bigger guy,
EMF
bigger
title.
guy, yeah,
You lose
yeah,
a
yeah.
natural 55, and then
Yeah.
it's tough to sell. the next
Masvidal
fight.
is a small 70 though.
He's a
And
little
he's-
small
he-
for 70,
and-
but
and
he's a
he's-
motherfucker.
He's a motherfucker.
He's a
Yeah.
motherfucker. He's never been tapped. Even the fights he loses, they're all close.
all split.
Remember he fought like
Damian Maia.
who did he get? He's never
had his
been
back.
beat up.
No one beats him
Exactly.
up.
Damian Maia had his back, defended all that, like high level, everywhere.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
He's a dog. But I mean, he's not just a dog like Gaethje. Like he seems high level everywhere he goes. I remember his defense in the Maia fight.
Maya had his back, dude. Maya had his fucking
He had his back. He had his back.
God,
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. It's
Beast.
tough to shake Maya off.
I got to start taking my
I
training.
think remember he had his back in a triangle. Was that Kamaru's?
I just remember.
That was Kamaru's when the ref stopped them and
Did he?
separated him.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that was on. He was on Rogan. Never mind.
Kamaru, I found him on food truck. Great
Yeah.
guy.
Great
Great
guy.
fucking
Yeah.
guy. One of the best.
Yep.
Phenomenal dude. Phenomenal dude.
Mm-hmm.
I had Kevin Lee on. Kevin Lee's
Can Masvidal beat him?
That's a good fight.
It's a good fight, right?
And they've trained. I think they've trained together.
All those Florida guys.
I don't know
trained
who's
together.
gonna beat Kamaru. To be honest, man, he's a motherfucker.
Look at him.
His fight
You
with
saw what he
Colby,
did to Woodley.
but his fight with Colby Covington, and Colby's
Oh my God,
was a
Colby's a
great
killer.
I don't know, man. He doesn't.
Kamaru's the real deal,
He
man.
doesn't seem to get tired either. I mean,
I don't know who's gonna beat him.
his
Wow, the top of 70 is exciting. You
All
know,
the weight
you know-
classes are besides light heavyweight and heavyweight. The weight classes
Yeah.
are in the UFC.
Yeah, they
Business
are.
is
Yeah.
booming.
It's booming. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking. It's never been better.
Yeah.
In any weight class, it's
Yeah.
never been better. It's so good,
wild.
man.
Yeah, no, it's a good time. It's a
At
good time to be a
45,
fight fan.
At 55,
I know.
70,
I know.
85, it's nuts, man.
Volkanovski surprised me too. That was a surprising fight when he beat Max Holloway like that, and he beat him convincingly.
Have you ever seen Volkanovski when he was like 250, 260 pounds?
Crazy.
What?
Rugby player?
That's crazy. Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah, he dropped. He was like 80, 90 pounds north.
I'd heard that and I thought they were. I didn't.
There
I'm
There
like,
he is.
what
That
are they
picture of him.
talking about?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Look at him.
Look at that. Oh my God. It's crazy. Yeah.
Hey,
Wait.
Look at that. Look at that.
He's like 240.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well,
that funny?
That's funny.
He looks like
He's a beefcake.
Wow. Yeah, he's a beefcake. Yeah.
He's such a stud. Comes from the same camp as Stylebender.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Him, Hooker. Look at his face there.
Oh God, what a nightmare.
But think about, I mean,
how tall
Brendan,
is
you
he?
would know better than anybody in this room, but what do you have to overcome? That differential in reach and size to some
Volkanovski with
degree?
Max Holloway.
Yeah, man, that's a fucking tall order to
5'6"?
beat Max Holloway.
Yeah, but did you see
And
how he
be
did it with the
that?
leg kicks?
Leg kicks.
At 5'6".
I know, but he's not the first guy to have thought of that game plan. Nobody else has been able to do it.
It's his camp, man. Those Stylebender and the
I
boys.
guess. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, and what about Romero? What about that fight?
I think Stylebender starches him.
Think so? Nobody's done it yet.
Yeah, but look what he did to Whitaker. I thought that
Oh,
was
yeah.
I thought that was a tougher
No, that was
matchup
crazy.
for Stylebender stylistically. I'm like, God,
Yeah, for
dude,
Whitaker.
let's see this Whitaker. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Whitaker's explosive.
Yeah,
He
Whitaker moves in and out
fucking-
wonderfully.
When I was with Calvin Gaslam at the Comedy Store
He's there last night.
the other day, and I was like sitting there and talking, and I was looking.
talk
at
about an
how
overachiever. That
much
guy's
I was
weird,
looking at how much
85.
taller I am than he is. I looked at him and I
we
went,
always do this.
but no, but I mean, but Stylebender's 6'4".
Stylebender's every bit of
There
6'4".
there's Kelvin to
absurd.
me. It
it's
makes no
absurd.
sense. He's that good.
I mean, isn't he a 70-pounder?
talent.
I mean, there are guys that
Talent.
would cut to 55 with that. I mean, and he's tremendous at 85. I mean, look, 55 is a stretch, but 70, you got to believe that he's got a 70-pound frame,
100%.
and he's the best guy in
saying-
the world
you're
at
saying that
85, except for three other
He
people.
shouldn't be a middleweight. No.
He should.
Yes.
No, he's too small.
Right.
He
You're
is.
right.
But here's the thing. He's so goddamn good.
So good.
He was one round away. That thing was
Oh,
to
that was
me,
a
top
nail-biter.
UFC fights of all
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But his diet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But same thing with DC. Everyone goes, really, you should be at 85, or Roy Nelson really could be
Yeah,
at 85. It's
yeah.
like, I mean, yeah, if
Yeah.
he wanted to live his life completely miserable, yeah, you're
Right,
probably
right,
right.
right,
Or
right.
Or you're
he
gonna
can
win
live
there.
normal, and that in Kelvin Gaslam's so goddamn talented.
Yeah.
He'll probably be champion someday.
It's
If I had
so
to bet
nice.
on one guy to
Weird.
be champion, it's probably him.
And there are just size anomalies like that. A guy like DC, you're right. Yeah, obviously he's able to make 205. But
Look at Darren Till.
but look
you
at-
ever seen Darren Till?
Yeah. He was cutting
he's-
too much though.
He
called him
walks
the
in at
gorilla.
He was
200
cutting too much.
He walks in at 201. He's in that.
Yeah,
when
no, but
walks
he
in the
looks
cage-
like it. But that's a good example of somebody who looks like an 85er. He looks like he cut too far down to 70.
No, he's perfect at 85.
yeah, and at 85 he looks good.
He's another guy probably gonna be champion someday.
Oh yeah, he's a.
He's young. He's 26 or something like that.
He's
Look at that.
such a-
Look how big he is. In that.
For Christ's sake.
Yeah,
good at everything.
yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna do that next time I win. I want to have my hands high like that.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
Put 'em up high.
I like weird things like that where you have your
No,
hands
that's a
high.
funny. Well,
He
but-
always does that.
But yeah, but there's no. I mean, even if you have them up high, like it's funny.
It's an old pugilistic. It's like
Yeah, like a John L. Sullivan pose or something. It's hot and cold.
What do you think? Can I go get us some water again? Hey, what do you think? Fury Wilder rematch.
Fury Wilder rematch is.
It's in February.
You gotta love the fact that Wilder just he's everybody's got to be perfect against him.
For all 12 rounds.
All 12 rounds.
You literally can't be like,
or you go to sleep. Everybody's got to be, I mean, I'm exaggerating when I say perfect,
Wilder
but everybody's got to be kind of
Name a harder
perfect.
puncher.
What's that?
Name a harder puncher in the history of the heavyweight division.
No, I can't.
People go, Mike Tyson. No.
Sam the Tar Baby Langford, 1787. But he is a real fighter, by the way. Sam the Tar Baby Langford.
Really?
Great name. But as far as like straight
Jersey Joe Walcott, nobody.
Any shavers, whatever. But
Tyson had a different crazy power style that
he had this
put guys away earlier.
explosiveness.
Yeah.
But it was like this.
No, the crazy.
It's literally like
out.
Yeah. You remember in this fight, and Tyson Fury is a better boxer, but
Fury
Wilder
won
still
this
knocked
fight.
him down
He
twice.
won the fight.
Knocked him down twice.
Fury won the fight. Yeah.
Why are people making these arguments
that
he lost the fight? He won every round. He got dropped in 2 rounds. You can you do the math.
That'd be 3 rounds.
Okay, so now you lost 3 rounds.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's call it 4.
But it was a draw. It was a draw.
It doesn't.
How is it?
I think they called it. I think they called it a draw because the second knockdown was
right. So
the fact that he got up.
Here's
was
the problem.
So
But here's my problem with that. And he got knocked down and he almost killed Fury. Here's what's crazy. Fury got back up.
I know.
And won, but outboxed him.
I know.
He didn't win the round, but he got back up and outboxed him.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So it's like, I guess that's a 10-8.
Yeah. I think you're going to see.
Fury won that fight. Let's be real.
Fury definitely won the fight.
If we're scoring off boxing rules, Fury won the fight.
Yeah.
And judging from the ropes and the environment, they were boxing. Judging from the gloves and the ropes, I thought we were scoring off boxing rules, but apparently the judges didn't do that. But a guy like Wilder was strange. I don't think anybody realized how good he is until right now when you see not only his record,
keeps getting better too.
He keeps being able to put guys away that he shouldn't be able to put away. Ortiz was a killer. That big Cuban he just fought, he didn't have to take that fight.
I hated it.
And unless you follow boxing,
I was like, I hate this fight.
If you don't follow boxing, you don't realize how dangerous that fight was. Wilder almost got knocked out in the first time he fought Ortiz.
Oh, dude, he was losing. He was losing on the cards, going the 10th. He was getting outclassed.
You get a southpaw Cuban from that school. I mean, granted, the guy could be 50. Nobody knows how old he is.
He has 9,000 fights.
He's a motherfucker.
Yeah,
I want to see this.
He's a killer.
It's never going to happen because of the promotional reasons. But I'd love to see Andy Ruiz Jr. Luis.
Yeah, I would love to see him against anybody.
Yeah, let's get in.
He's such a fun fighter to watch. You can't help but root for the guy. And by the way, he's a good fighter.
Ortiz?
Did you ever see Andy Ruiz Jr.?
Oh yeah, Andy Ruiz Jr.
Did you see? I saw Evander Holyfield being interviewed about sparring Andy Ruiz Jr. and he goes, he's so fast. He just talked about how good he was. He goes, you don't want to fight.
So Freddie Roach, when they made the announcement, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz on the short notice.
Yeah,
there's Freddie Roach is on record. I'm like, I don't like this for Anthony Joshua. This kid's in here. His hands are fast. Yeah. Matchup wise, he gets inside. It's a
yeah. And you see his head moving like he can move and he can get inside. Yeah.
Everyone hated it. And he was like, come on down.
And then he got back in the ring at 25 pounds heavier or something like that. Like
36 pounds heavier.
36 pounds heavier.
Can you imagine?
What are you doing? You had a shot.
It's called self-sabotage.
It's called self-sabotage. That's shocking.
I call it shitting the bed.
I don't. You got to be money. You got to be careful with money and doing that. Money. I wonder if it hurts as many people.
I feel like he doesn't think of himself
helps.
as a champion. That's what it is. I think sometimes you have to think of yourself.
But he won the first
Wilder
fight.
believes
he won the first fight, but then he also
against all psychological
realize
odds.
he was like 301 amateur. Dude. You're talking about a real pro.
Oh, yeah, he's a real pro. Oh, and by the way, he fought Parker. Like, he beat everybody he ever fought except for Parker.
Joseph Parker?
Joseph Parker.
Yeah, who's a stud.
And got outpointed who's a stud. It's not like that guy's a scrub. People just saw him.
Oh, no. Don't let the shitty body.
Guys, the insiders knew that guy could fight.
He can fight. I just think, I don't think it's about he didn't think he was a champion. I just think he just, got fat and happy. I was like, oh no, it's a champion. I'm good.
It's the Buster Douglas syndrome. When he got back in the ring, he was like,
it is. It is. Yeah. I mean, that
doesn't work with this. If people keep saying it's the Buster Douglas, the only reason it doesn't work with the Buster Douglas because it was kind of like that fight. Buster Douglas fucked Mike Tyson up. You got to remember with Andy Ruiz Jr. and Anthony Joshua, the first fight, it was the fight. Andy Ruiz Jr. got knocked down.
Yeah.
Dude. Joshua
you're
got
right.
knocked down.
In that regard,
it was a scrap.
In that regard, it was a
but
scrap.
as far as becoming a,
but Tyson Douglas was a bit of a scrap for a little while. Douglas got hit in that fight. It was still a good fight. No, he didn't get dropped.
Yeah. What I expected was Andy Ruiz to come in thinner and even better shape.
Yes.
This is the shot of his life to really prove that wasn't a fluke.
I had a lot of birdies.
I wanted him to
in
win.
his camp.
Oh.
And I kept quiet. I was on Rogan. Rogan's like, hey, I think he has a chance. I went,
Right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had so many people going, dude, he's here, he's doing this, he's doing this, he's eating this, he's doing Yep. That's why, that's why I guarantee you Joshua wins this fight. Guarantee.
Yeah.
You know, our boy Todd always bets on it. Put as much money as you can on Joshua.
Huh.
You can't beat him.
No.
You're not
I just wish Joshua would have gotten more aggressive in the second half.
See, I don't mind it, man. I don't like me with Joshua. There's so much on the line. His career's over.
No, I get it.
He
It's all
loses
on
to
the
Ruiz.
line. I
Dude,
know. You gotta
stick
play it
behind his
safe.
jab, good footwork, and I'm like, well, he can box. Because then when I see
know.
that, I go, all right, that Wilder fight's a little different. Granted, I don't think he beats Wilder, but a little. And with the Tyson fight, and you forget he's a gold medalist in the Olympics.
No,
so
no
with
doubt about
Fury,
it.
he can box.
Yeah, no, he's at it. I mean, he's a high
I
level
want to see
guy.
him fight those guys. I want to see Joshua fight Fury, and I want to see him
Yeah.
fight Wilder. I really do. That's the fight. That
But I
could
still
be
want him. I
epic.
want him to take more risks. You know, that's what I love about a guy like Conor McGregor. I mean, Dana White's always saying that about McGregor, but you love guys that they don't just win. He could have gone in.
Here's the thing, though. Like we shit on everybody does it really, especially over here, not in England, but everyone shits on Joshua. Be like,
less
oh,
in
fight this guy. If you look at as far as like
Joshua's fought some
who
good
he's
guys.
fought compared to Wilder or Fury, it doesn't compare.
He got off the floor.
Joshua's
He
fighting
got
the
off the floor and beat
mandatories.
Klitschko.
He beat Klitschko. I mean, you look at his body of work
yeah.
compared to these other guys, much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
No, he's a.
But over here in the
He's a
States, everyone
great
shits
fighter.
on him like, dude, you gotta look into it, man.
Well, because people see you get beat by Andy Ruiz Jr. Unless you're a real fight fan, you don't know that a guy that looks like that can still be real good, and so it's hard for them to imagine it.
I want to be built like that.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
a good look.
Such a good body.
It's such a. Who has the better body, him or Wilder? I say him.
Oh, him for sure.
Right?
Wilder's too long.
Too
tall,
long.
lanky.
Yeah.
He's tall.
Like
and
Wilder
thin.
looks like kind of
Yeah.
weird in clothes. Joshua's a dime piece.
Fighter and the Kid
Thicker.
gay porn edition.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, no, you're right though. Yeah, Wilder's real lanky, which is another amazing thing with that kind of power.
But
right?
here's the other thing. It
It's
doesn't
just
make
a
sense.
weird thing.
They could
Here's the
both,
thing.
they could
What's
both-
going on in
even
terms
his-
of the physics?
Even
of
his
when he
technique
fought?
doesn't make sense. His heels
Nothing
off the
makes
ground.
sense.
His foot's off the ground.
Everything, nothing
It's
makes
from-
sense.
it's from his
Falling in
hip,
on his shots.
But as soon as it touches, it's game over.
game over.
That's
You
like the
gotta be
hardest puncher in the
perfect.
world.
Crazy.
Like his heels, like there's no hip.
He
it's just-
looks. He doesn't look coordinated.
It's
Like
great.
even guys that just started fighting. I mean, well, not just started. A few years ago, still look good.
Isn't it crazy?
That's what Teddy Atlas said.
Just God gives.
Yeah, it's
given
weird.
talent.
Some of the longest, lanky
Yeah.
guys. I don't know, man. I got to get some tats, too. I got to get serious. Got to get serious.
You got to get serious.
We'll get that fight. I've been
You
3
got to get
years.
Yeah, but
serious.
3
You get
years.
3 years.
Fuck, dude.
That's boxing.
well,
Yeah,
but
that's
see,
it.
here's the thing. They could both fight each other. They could just say, I want to fight.
Nope. Contracts, Brian. God, dude,
They could
get
still,
us some
but they
fucking
could still
water.
do it.
No, they can't, dude.
But they
they-
could
That's
talk.
like,
Like her.
hold on. That's like you be on. You're on ABC.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
go
trying to
to
do a show on
CBS.
HBO.
Yeah.
Oh, go do it, Brian.
It's a little different.
It's not.
It's a
though,
one-man
dude.
show.
No,
for
dare
both
him,
of them.
dare him.
It's
We
not,
dare
though.
you.
Let's say you have.
But they were in contracts, right? They were in. They were
never
having
in contracts.
Well, they were
They're in
talking.
discussions.
Right. So if they're in discussions, it means it could happen. Now it's just a numbers game.
No, there's so much that goes into it, dude. But you're talking about two different promoters.
The amount of money.
And they're
that those
contracted
promoters
to the
could make.
promotional
The
outfit.
amount of money those promoters could make.
I know
That's what
you'd
I'm
think
saying.
they'd be
you're
more
look- but
willing
they're
to work
looking at-
together.
They're looking at the long game. Go,
Yeah.
all right. Anthony Joshua can fight Andy Ruiz
It's my
twice,
goose
and
land.
we'll make $150 million.
Gotta lay some more golden eggs.
We're going to keep going, and then we'll get this at the back end.
Yeah, it's always
Otherwise, let's say
don't kill the goose.
Joshua goes in there,
Yeah.
gets starched by Wilder.
Yeah.
What do we do?
What do you do?
You do the rematch.
I mean, there's still money in it. Yeah, but, no, yeah, of course.
So you got to go. You got to goose with golden eggs. You keep the golden eggs. You keep it.
It's the worst thing because if
But
when they
boxing's
lose,
been doing this
I
forever.
know.
When the mob ran box,
I
I mean,
know.
it's been doing this forever,
I know.
and it still has a life. People are passionate about it. But if they aren't able to get promoters to work together and adopt that model, we didn't have MMA. We didn't have the UFC 50 years ago when they were doing this
Here's
in
the
boxing.
thing,
We had
Dov,
no choice.
You're forgetting this too, dude. Boxing in general is an older sport, man.
I know it is. I know.
My kid's not into
I know.
boxing.
I
He's
know.
into MMA.
It's
Most
older
kids are
and
into-
it's more ethnic.
Most kids are into UFC.
Yes.
The younger generation
I
ain't
know.
fucking with boxing.
I know.
So they're
Except unless you're in Mexico.
Unless they start getting cooler, their ratings
Yeah.
are like this.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I
UFC's
know. I
taking
know.
over.
I know.
UFC's better at marketing.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
easier access.
Yes.
More fights. Funner fights.
Social media.
Funner looking people. Personalities. Women. Men.
Yeah.
Sexy ass ring
Women
girls.
especially,
Sexy ass fucking fighters.
Yeah,
like Paige
yeah,
Van
yeah.
Zandt. You got all Ostovich. You got all these baddies.
How much
Yeah.
of a drop is it when women are headlining? Is there? Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know what the discrepancy is?
I don't know. I don't watch it.
I don't know. I mean, if you're not Ron, there's got to be a drop. I mean, when's the last
They
time
don't. They
somebody
don't have
tapped
a.
you on
They
the
don't have a
shoulder and they're
woman
like,
star right now.
"Oh, you're talking about boxing?"
No, you're talking about.
UFC,
Oh no,
UFC.
but boxing. There's
UFC.
never been
No,
one.
no,
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 yeah, there's never been.
boxing now.
The
No.
Clarissa Shields is, she's such a stud, but
Yeah, of course, but
but
nobody.
there's no,
I mean,
there's no
who's she
competition.
fighting? Like,
She just beats the fuck out of girls.
Yeah. It
That's
was
why-
like a young cyborg or something. Wow. Yeah, that's a good time.
Yeah, Rachel Ostovich, by far the baddest on the roster. Well, and there's some other ones too.
Whoa! What's that?
I don't know.
She's a fighter. Fuck is going on there?
These aren't UFC. You just brought in hot
Just hottest
girls.
female.
Yeah,
Good God.
it's an old list too. But there's some in Bellator. There's some other ones in UFC that are just ridiculous.
Jesus
Man, it's
Christ.
good
What's
time.
going on?
Well, she's the one who her boyfriend was a Nazi.
Yeah.
Boyfriend with a Nazi?
Yeah, a neo-Nazi.
Listen, the guy's had. Everybody's coming down on the guy. Everybody relax. I'm a half a Jew. I can give the guy. You go to prison, you get caught up with some guys every now and then.
You gotta
one of
pick a
the
side.
leaders of the Aryan Brotherhood was half Jew. Everybody calm down with the Nazis.
Everyone relax.
Let's all calm down.
Sometimes you got to survive in jail. Jessica.
Guy goes to prison, he tries to fit in. Suddenly, everybody's down on him.
You gotta figure it out.
Got
Yeah.
a couple tattoos.
You get a couple
swastikas.
tats. Yeah, no,
Chinny-
it's a good time.
I know.
Podcast a screeching halt by bringing
Well,
up
we're
hot
all of a
chicks.
sudden we're all looking at the hot.
I know.
Enough
It's
chicks.
not what we're talking about. Whatever.
It's outrageous.
So what else is going on? Relationships?
How's the kid?
I don't know if
How old's the kid?
14 months. 14
Is it only
months.
14 months?
Yeah,
That feels longer than that, dude.
He's
How old's Boston now?
10 weeks.
14 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
like a baby.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, I don't know. The marriage thing is I don't know.
Who does?
Marriage is.
I mean, there are some people that do. We call them homosexuals. No, I'm kidding. You fucking snowflakes. There are people that
It's
believe that they. No, I know guys that are, that are happy. Listen,
How many people do you know that are happily married? Just curious. I'm just
none. If you're going to try to pressure test my idea and push me out with I don't know anybody. No, I've met a few people that claim to be happily married, right? But
I think it's always tricky, man. I think it's just always tricky. Anytime you're in a relationship.
Of course. Well, we're not built for it. Listen, you can argue that it's the best vessel with which to move through this existence with, but you can't argue that it's natural. And so it's always going to be muscular.
I think it's natural to have a steady home and like a mother of your child and like.
Yeah, but it's not
have
natural.
a
A
home.
monogamous anything, even in the animal kingdom, outside of penguins and a couple of other birds. I mean, nothing. Monogamy is not natural. I'm not saying don't do it, and I'm not saying it's not the best course. If you want to have children and a traditional family, you can make an argument for that, but it's clearly not natural, which is why everybody struggles with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's facts. Yeah, everyone struggles with it.
I mean,
and then eventually guys just get. They're just like, all right, well, this is it.
Well,
And
but
they just
there's also
stop,
the
and
question.
they're just
There's
like,
also the
this is
question.
it.
This is
And they
it.
just keep, what?
It's just funny.
That's why, like, they're 50.
You
they're
see
50,
that,
and they're
yeah.
just like, well,
I know, but you had a glassy submission in your eyes. I mean, there was pain when you said that out loud.
glassy
It was literally
submission.
like watching you tap. You were like, maybe it happens. No, but it's the people don't talk about like the price of optionality. Optionality meaning the idea that you have a lot of options. Like when people talk about money. Money's overrated. After a certain point, it's overrated. People get all caught up with it.
That's it, because you have money, though.
No, it's not. I've been in a place where I had no money. No. I don't mean it's not better than being poor. I mean having $1 billion is not better than having 100 million. It's meaningless. That differential is just about power, ego, and something else. You're not going to live any better. You're not going to eat any better. You're not going to have any better health care. Your kids aren't going to be any more decent.
Private jet.
And they might be less decent at that level. There's a lot of actual statistical data that says on the upper end of stuff, your kids are going to be kind of
400% kids more likely to have a drug problem.
There you go.
Suicide.
There you go.
Come from a billionaire family.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So it's
There's no-
not.
Christ.
So,
There's no
so you've
reason to
just
go- so
proven.
weird. 100%.
So according to that metric, then it's overrated, right? I'm not saying I would never be as presumptuous as say like people that don't have any. If you're struggling to pay bills, money's a tremendous problem solver. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people being obsessed with going, it's another 40 million, or he's making 40. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, after
the
a certain
difference
point.
between. Listen, I eat as well. I mean, like. So you got a private how many times can you do that and you still it's called the law of diminishing returns. All of these statistics are very clear in terms of people's lives, but the optionality for a guy like you or a guy like you in terms of women means that you're going to struggle that much more with monogamy than somebody who doesn't have that optionality, in which case it'll create more anxiety and a lower likelihood of success in terms of monogamy. So for some guys, it's not that much of a struggle.
Here's the other thing though. When
just not that much
when
of a
I see
struggle.
like name any famous person when they're like, oh, blah blah blah, got caught cheating on their wife or their
Right.
girl, and you see society like the regular dudes like, what the
Yeah,
fuck,
how
man? I'm like,
could
whoa,
you?
whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, what do you mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, you take one step in that man's shoes when he flies into a city.
I've seen
and
it.
30 smoke shows.
I mean,
have their tits out.
I had been around when I was a young man. I was with.
Hey, here's the joke. The
Yeah,
Kevin
you don't
Hart,
even need to fly into a city.
The Chris Hart joke, the Chris Rock joke is, the girls.
Million
I can't
different
believe
people,
this.
yeah, yeah.
And the guys are like, damn, only 3.
Yeah, right.
Dude, I was with David Blaine when we were both young, and we went and Mark Messier. Remember Mark Messier? He had just won the Stanley Cup.
The New York
Yeah,
Ranger.
yeah.
Yeah.
He and this other famous hockey player were
guy.
hanging out, and they were in the prime of their lives. And I didn't know who he was. I just was,
I don't love this angle.
You know how
I don't love this angle here. This.
I know.
I'm trying to
should
get
be.
through
It's
here.
gotta be. We
it's
should
gotta be done
angle
like this.
But we should angle
we
the
could
couch
dial
so it's
this in a little
way.
bit better. I mean, this
Yeah,
is a
you're
premiere
right. It's
podcast.
awkward.
Let's get it to fucking together here.
What we should do is get a smaller couch and angle it this way.
I think so.
No, it's
didn't know
fine. I
it was
look
a
at
guest
Brian.
until
I'm looking
we
at
got
this
here.
when I go anyway.
Oh, bring
let
it
me
down.
fix that for you real quick.
He's gonna fix
I
it.
could bring it down where? Bring it down here.
Watch. Fix that goddamn. Sometimes you want to listen to something interesting, Brennan. You want to listen to something interesting. You want to listen to something when you're driving.
Yeah, dude, you're talking about we crashed on Wondery.
Yeah, I am.
You're talking about we crashed on Wondery?
I'm talking about we crashed.
Dude, you talking about we
and Wondery.
crashed on Wondery?
I'm talking about we crashed times.
Yeah,
3 and
you're
Wondery
talking
times 2.
about, dude, you're talking about a little company called WeWork, all right? Where a host, David Brown, digs into what happened between WeWork's initial $47 billion valuation to Adam Newman being forced to pull the stock's IPO. He resigns as CEO and watch the shareholders' value nosedive in 40 days?
Yep. 40 days. Think about that. Scott Galloway serves as a key advisor.
Dude.
Adam Newman had 15,000 employees, a private jet, and stood poised to become the world's first trillionaire with WeWork, or so he thought.
No, that ain't happening, all right?
Yep.
That ain't happening.
He said he wanted to rent office spaces. He said it would change the world. Groupthink and a cult of personality allowed Newman to beguile initial investors. Conflict of interest, mismanagement, losses soon had investors discounting the success of WeWork, despite a desperate desire to crown the next tech unicorn. You want to know more?
Dude, B, you ready for this?
wanna know more?
They say it's the largest destruction in shareholder value since Enron.
Damn.
You want to hear more?
Damn.
You like what you hear?
Don't miss January 29th premiere of Wondery's We Crashed on Apple Podcasts. You can learn about this insane event, this insane seismic business default, if you will, where so many people lost money. Smart people.
Yep, too much. Over. It's
Fashion.
over. Read's over.
All right, fine. You want focus. You want your mood to be optimized. You want your digestive health
You want
to
to
be
mix
optimized.
things up? Dov, you and I talked about mixing things up.
Yeah.
You want to mix things up? Mix your diet up, man.
Mix your
Get
sex
some
life
alpha
up.
brain. Get some earth grown nutrients, some key minerals, all right?
Performance, about your immune system. Come on, let's go.
What about
On
some
it.
krill oil, joint oil? Maybe you need to work out on the road. Maybe you're an aspiring comic, or you are a comic. You're on the road all the time. You can't go to the gym.
Maybe when you're
How
sleeping,
about
you
on
wanna be
demand?
optimized.
How about we got workouts on demand on your phone? You do it in your hotel room, from your living room, at your home, whatever you want. They got body weight on it, 6 workouts, on it 6 kettlebell, on it 6 steel mace, streaming fitness. No more excuses to be a thick kid. Onnit.com/fighter, 10% off.
It's your one-stop shop to fitness and optimization.
Hey, I apologize. I came down on you guys. What do I know? You guys
better.
are running a successful podcast,
That's way better.
I got 13 followers on
On YouTube. No,
Yeah,
but
on
I
YouTube.
remember watching Mark
I don't even
Messier.
have a
I
YouTube.
remember seeing the kind of women. I'm not kidding. I was a young man. I remember seeing the kind of women that were around him.
Mark Messier?
And I was a young dude, and I'd never. It was the smoke shows of the smoke shows,
Right,
And they
right,
were
yeah.
all around, and they
Captain
were
of the New York Rangers.
dude. But I remember,
Yeah,
I remember
right.
going. I remember being
Yeah.
young, and I was like,
Yeah, that
these
helps
are the
in a
best
bar.
looking women I've ever seen in my fucking life. I've never seen. If anybody's around that, it's overwhelming.
Right. But so as it relates to that, Brian, I mean, what are the happiness correlates? Like, you look at those things and you go, yeah, it's the dream of a teenager. The problem is when you get out there, if you are trying to maintain, a family and a wife, that kind of situation,
I know.
it
Doesn't
actually
end
could
well.
create more anxiety and
doesn't
more unhappiness than it generates. And so it's wonderful up until a certain point.
It's a fine
and then
line, Dov.
It's a fine fucking line. I'm telling you, everything that glitters is not gold.
It's the
Sometimes
finest
it's just.
line.
It's a very fine line.
finest line.
That's a very fine
It's
line.
the finest line.
It's the finest
And
line.
I don't know anybody that's figured it out.
Nobody's figured it out.
Name one person,
you
go.
either age
Well,
out.
Name one.
Hold on.
Name one.
No, no. You
LeBron
age out.
James has been married to the same woman.
I love that.
Brendan, he's been married to the same woman for a long time.
You're right, dude.
And I happen to believe there she is. How long?
So
has he been
wait,
married?
but the premise being what?
What are you saying? He's
The premise being that he doesn't fuck around ever at all, or it's
I have
that,
no
or that he
idea.
doesn't experience anxiety when
I don't have
trying
no
to not fuck around.
I have no idea. I don't know.
All right, well, I'm glad we brought it up.
I'm sure
that was your example,
some
huh?
men are wired differently and some men are.
Oh yeah, name one. B. Go.
I don't know.
Name one that we know.
Well, it's like Leo Flowers' joke about nobody has 5 Super Bowl rings or 3 Super Bowl rings, 4 Ferraris,
Right,
and just
right.
one girlfriend.
Right, right,
Mission
right,
cuts
right,
all the way
right,
across. It's
right.
like, we're going, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know.
But see, that's the
It's
thing
weird
too.
because then the people like in the open relationships, you're like, well, that ain't the way either.
No, I know. There's
No,
no.
fuck
Listen,
no.
There's
That's definitely not the way. Our buddy Aubrey was. I was like, dude, you're so stressed, bro.
Yeah. So what
And
is
he's like,
the
and then he
answer?
goes, "Oh, we're gonna have kids. We're gonna raise it in a village." I went, "Don't do that. Please stop that. Don't do that, dude."
Well, here's the
The
thing.
answer, my brother lives on 26 acres in Massachusetts. He's married to another psychologist. She's an attractive lady.
She's
and,
smoking.
Yeah. And so the answer for a guy like him is to stay centered. He doesn't live in the middle of Los Angeles. So there's a logistical component in this consideration. There's a bear that lives by him. That really diminishes the likelihood of struggling with
But
not
that's
banging
the
no
answer
tail.
to move to the middle of Montana.
That's the
or
only
some
answer.
shit?
You guys got to get the fuck out of here if you want. No.
Well, hold on. There are a couple things. I mean, so sometimes
that's not the
three
answer.
degenerates kind of figure out monogamy right now.
Hold on. Well, no, because here's
Yeah,
the
my
thing.
dog has an opinion about nuclear physics as well.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you're in a relationship, here's what happens with a lot of relationships. I've noticed, marriage, they get in a relationship, they're doing their thing, they're monogamous, and then they get bored of each other for a
Yeah,
thousand
sure,
reasons.
yeah.
They just get
Yeah.
bored of each other, not
Yeah.
just sexually, but in a lot of ways.
Of
I'm
course.
bored of my car out.
I'm bored of
That's right.
myself.
That's a
But
GT2 RS.
So then-
that's
but
the
wait,
point
wait,
too
wait,
about
wait.
stuff.
But how do
It's
you-
like you got to be
but hold on,
careful
how
because you
do
get
you-
bored of anything.
But
But
I
wait.
want a Bugatti.
But wait, hold on.
You don't. No,
I'm
you
just kidding.
don't.
I'm just kidding.
But that's what happens.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But how do you introduce adventure?
But that's
Dude,
human
but here's the
evolution.
thing.
How do you introduce adventure?
Oh, you
and
sound
still
so
stay
gay
together?
right
Oh, you're
now.
talking about
How do you
anal.
introduce excitement in the
Do you bring
suck my
do you bring
dick?
people in?
What?
Do you bring
What?
people in as a group? I mean, as a
I don't.
team?
I don't have an answer. Wear a mask and fuck other people.
Brian
Here's
just
the
invited
thing.
you in.
A-Rod-
Brian just invited you
Hold
in.
on,
He
hold
goes.
on.
He goes. Do you bring people?
Wear a
in?"
mask and fuck up.
Hey, do you bring people in? That's what he's really been trying to get to the whole time. He's
I'm a
like,
sexual-
what do you do? I mean, do you bring guys in?
Do you bring a
Are you a
guy
sexual-
who's- Yeah. You know,
You
a
get a
sex-
tall, dark, and handsome guy with a nice cock. Do you bring him in? Hey, by the way, do you blow him? Are you bored of banging broads?
on a
You
Friday
to
night?
fuck us?
On a Friday night?
I'm so
After
tired of
doing a
fucking
set?
girls. Doesn't make me gay. I'm just looking for excitement.
Are you,
Like, what?
are you a sexual communist?
What's
or what?
the exactly?
But here's the thing: even A-Rod's sick of fucking J-Lo from behind. I will guarantee you that. I love my car. There's not a better car, I truly believe, on the planet than that GT2 RS. I'm
yeah.
used to it now.
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
You're talking to a wall right
I'm
here.
used to it. He has no. I mean, might as
A
well be fucking
GT2
Spanish.
No, listen, we don't want to
It's
dive
the best
too
race car.
deeply into that.
It's the best fucking car I've ever
Relative
driven.
to the
After
sustainability,
3
the
months,
engineering, the other. All right, but what
I've
you're
been hitting it from
referring to
behind
is a
for 3 months.
philosophical
I've
phenomenon.
been fucking that car behind for 3 months.
Listen to me. It's called the law.
And
of
you're
the-
you're already,
I'm not sick. I love it.
but you're already used to
I
it.
love
you
it.
got used to it.
Ain't nothing but your regular.
I like vanilla ice cream. Give it to me every day.
The philosophical phrase for that is the law of diminishing returns. It is inescapable. It's an inescapable law.
Everyone suffers
So you
from
do
it, yeah?
you meditate. It's human nature. There's no way around it, right? The law of diminishing returns.
What's your therapist say, Dov?
My therapist?
Yeah. Have you talked to your therapist about it?
He says, "Why don't you bring in other guys?" No, I have talked. Yeah, absolutely.
You know what my problem
I know
is?
the answer.
I've talked to a therapist.
You renew appreciation.
The problem
you
with
center. Yeah, it is.
The problem with the therapist is you're talking to a 60-year-old dude.
No, it's not.
Who's
No, it's not.
never
They're
walked
younger.
in those-
My
you know what
brother's
I'm saying?
bullshit. My brother's a psychologist, and you don't need to experience something to understand its effects psychologically. No, it's
I'm not saying
presumptuous.
that.
Well, you just said a 60-year-old therapist. If you got a younger therapist, or no, I think even a 60-year-old therapist can go, look, I understand it must be very exciting to bang new tail, to get in that car, to go out, you got a big cock. You come over the house.
No,
Sorry,
we're not talking
I'm
about
getting off
me.
topic.
We're
I'm getting
we're
off
not
topic.
talking about me.
I'm talking about anybody. But it's like to do that must be exciting. And so I think a good analyst would say, yes, all of that's exciting. Then you have to identify an objective. It's like talking to a coach. It's the same way Andy Ruiz went off the rails, right? It's like there's a way to renew commitment to some sort of, if that's the objective, but it's always going to be a struggle. It will never be easy to come in top shape. The fucking ongoing, it almost gets hacky after a while. It's like if you watch boxing trainers, they're like, well, we'll see if he comes in shape. It's like the whole job is coming in shape,
That's
but yet
your one
people
job.
struggle with doing it. That's your one job. It's not going to be any
Yeah, but
simpler
hold on.
when you get
it's
to
also,
tail.
It's also like deciding. The bottom line is that you get a lot out of
You invite
whatever it
some
might
guys
be.
in.
You get a lot out of monogamy and that relationship.
You got that?
You can, right? You can get a lot out of it.
Oh, for the most.
But then you got to. And then what
Yeah.
happens is it's just this.
You can get a
gotta
lot out
weigh
of a
it.
minivan,
You gotta
too.
You got to
We're
wait.
doing this for Kat. She's recently single. This is the talk we're doing for you.
Are you recently single?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Would you bring everything to us? You were getting all the tactic. Are you recently
Oh,
single?
wow.
But you've been
you've been
dating,
nice.
dated for a long time.
And
Go
you
to
live
my
where?
buddy's house.
You
You have a
live
party.
where?
You need
like-
a mask?
Are you offended by guys that sleep with guys while sleeping with you?
I got to piss out of my huge dick. I'll be right
Do
back.
it, man.
Yeah, no, there's no.
Carry on.
Yeah, but you're also in the thick of it here. I mean, look, if of all of those options and that
I know some
anxiety, like
guys
you're
who do it.
you're in the eye of the hurricane here. Is the eye the calm play? I don't know if I use that phrase right, but you're in a hurricane.
But the eye of the hurricane's pretty relaxing, you know?
Right. Okay. So you're not in the eye. You're in the actual swirling part of the hurricane in Los Angeles at your age with your all of that. Like
You're
all
just
of the
surrounded with
components.
sharks with tits.
That's the perfect storm. Exactly. That's the perfect storm. It's like all of those components to make you crazy about that shit. I would imagine like if somebody is older or old enough and not in the center, you still think about it, but you just less anxiety.
Yeah, but if you talk to any of the guys, my peers who are older,
you're thinking
especially comics, and they're like, it's just not worth it. Like it's just not worth it. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, man.
No,
like we've
and
seen
yet-
how that works out for people.
And yet everybody still struggles with it. That's the human nature part of it. Like you know it, but that's the difference between like when you think about. I don't know if there's a fight analogy in it, but like there's knowing when to do something.
Yeah.
And then there's just doing it. Like the concept. Like everybody knows to show up in shape, but you have to have so many other things in your life dialed in order to show up at your best. And so whether it's Conor in his last fight or Andy Ruiz in his second fight, like you see guys that just couldn't keep it together when they weren't. Or even when they were training. Fucking Roberto Duran's whole career was like that. In and out.
Crazy.
He gained 60 pounds between fights and eat everything and
Yeah.
fuck everybody and knock out a horse. And then when he tried to dial it down.
yeah, we love that guy.
Yeah, we love that guy. Who's more fun than watching that guy? Johnny
Love that guy.
Tapia was smoking crack in between fights.
Again.
And a killer.
Killer, and you love that
Johnny
guy.
Tapia. Room's hot and cold.
Albuquerque's finest.
Albuquerque's finest.
Yeah.
Johnny Tapia was a murder. We were talking about he was smoking crack between. He had a big coke problem, and he was between fights,
Sure he did
and
all
still a world champ.
Yeah, there's a documentary on him.
Mi Vida
great.
Loco, Mi
It was
Vida
great.
Loco.
It was great.
Oh yeah, Johnny Tapia has a tremendous life. They're gonna make I think a movie about. I don't know who plays a guy like. There he is.
I heard,
watch Johnny Tapia. It was
I heard
crazy.
The Rock's playing Johnny Tapia. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of The Rock, is there ever enough? Is there ever enough that you go, maybe I'm going to dial down the need to sell something today?
That's what
Is
I
it
say.
ever enough?
That's what I say all the time.
This guy's
It's
popped
too
up.
much.
Somebody told me, so I've been doing
It's
an
too much.
informal
It's way too much.
study of like people. It's literally like, it's always all this positive. Hey, man, hey. And then it's like, hey, buy my tequila. Hey, these are my shoes. Hey, these are my... After a while, I feel like, fuck you. You're a fake.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure you're a great guy, and I probably would have a different tone if he were right here, but I would still say the same thing. I would go, when's it enough?
Yeah.
Hey, tequila, this and that.
I never know. I never
got
know.
food. I'm signing this.
I never know what's
This is my
driving.
thing.
When's it enough,
This is my thing.
guys?
Go home. But go home.
Go fucking home after a while.
Go home.
And this, it's like, it's the promotion never fucking ends.
Never ends.
I mean, it's just like, at what point do you... And then the movie promotion, and then the tequila promotion, and then you tie in all the promotions. It's like...
It's a lot, man.
I mean, he made $60 million.
Who gives a fuck
more than
after
that.
a while?
Walk with us in Atlanta.
So what? You know, you were at Peter Thiel's house. Peter Thiel's got more money than that guy will. He lives in a 3-bedroom house. He's not obsessed with the money. He's obsessed with doing shit.
Yeah, he's boring.
He's not trying to sell you fucking tequila while selling you things while being a personal trainer.
There's guys like George Clooney who you don't see all up in your face with his dick and tequila and stuff, and he sold all that, and he's like, I'm good, man.
Well, the
But
amount
he got involved with a piece of a company, and he would see this as not an integrity, like a life that's associated with some regard for. There's a kind of integrity that isn't that. Like, you just, every fucking thing is a sale. It's weird.
Well,
And he seems like a great guy. He's also a great guy.
well, I don't know about that, but I mean, I'm sure he is.
I've heard him talk. He always seems like he gives a fuck
He's also
about
a good
people,
actor. Yeah.
and he cares. I don't think he's that good of an actor.
He's great, but the thing is also the amount of...
He's good acting that way. He's good at acting like he cares.
But the
That's what
amount,
I'm saying.
You're right.
The
You're
amount,
right
the
about
amount
that.
of drugs that the amount of steroids that he must be taking.
But don't we all know this?
Yeah, I hope so. But I mean,
Some people don't.
Like, how muscular do you need to get here? It's a very...
But that's his thing, right? He's
Yeah.
a superhero in all the movies. Like,
Yeah.
but you have to. You cannot not do.
But 10
that.
years ago, he was awesome too. His body looked fantastic.
But he wasn't as big as
but
he is
look
now.
at the
Yeah,
idea.
because
If,
you need to be that big, right?
Well, I'm saying his career has exploded because he's that guy. He played Hercules.
yeah, right.
He
Nobody else.
exploded
Yeah.
off
How
playing
many other
Hercules.
people can play that
Exploded
guy?
off of Hercules.
That's-
He just had a great sense of humor. He was a giant guy who could act.
Oh,
with
yeah,
that sense of humor.
absolutely. Yeah.
Now
Super
I feel like he's
entertaining.
overdoing it. I feel like he's just getting
Muscular-wise?
Yeah, like he's just so veiny and
He's
so.
made some good movies and Jumanji. Yeah, but my
Jumanji
thing
was
is
a huge hit.
My thing is
At what
when is
point
it
do you
enough?
turn down
I
the
agree.
volume?
I mean, that's a
Like,
lot of veins in the old head.
It's always this.
You know, when you're coming up and you're trying to gain attention and you're trying to get some leverage in the business, you're coming at things, you're doing what you can. A guy like that, like, how much?
How much,
How
man?
much? Now you're selling me fucking tequila? You sold me 13 movies in the last 2 months. Now tequila?
I hear you, man. Give
Hey,
me a
you're-
break, dude.
Fast and the Fury.
You can see me in Columbus, Ohio this Friday, Saturday.
Wait a second, Brendan.
What are you doing?
When you just checked out on us.
Sorry.
man.
No, if you're gonna
I'm
say
gonna
that-
hit Cobb's in San
If you need
Francisco.
pure spectrum CBD, the best on the planet,
there you
use
go, there
promo
you go.
code
Yeah,
SHOP.
If you're gonna start with that, I guess I'm gonna
No,
be in
I'm just
Cleveland
kidding.
this weekend. Buy your
just
tickets for
kidding.
tomorrow, Friday, and
Oh, that's
Saturday.
right, you're taking off.
But that's different, isn't it? Like from what a comic does, or like what we do here, it's different than.
You're also not The Rock. If you made $13 billion grossing movies and then you're trying to
Oh,
sell
I'm not
me
on
tequila,
social media.
it's
Oh, no,
like,
hold on.
you know.
Hold on. If someone comes to me and Brian and goes, "Hey, man,
Yeah, here's
Spotify,
here's
whoever,"
Yeah.
Sirius goes, "Hey, find the kid. We'll give you and Brian each 10 million each."
Right.
There's no social media. for
right.
Brendan.
I see. Just
There's-
check it.
No, Brendan's out.
Yeah. Brendan's out.
Brendan, you find it.
Brendan,
You get my dates on this podcast.
that's
yeah.
right.
I don't even have a phone.
That's right, sir. I
Yeah.
might be gone.
Yeah, I'll be like Bruce Wayne. You see me zoom
I
around
would buy
LA.
your car from you, and I would take off. Yeah, you would never see me again
Yeah,
on social media.
there's no
I would
social
buy your
media.
car as long as I had enough coming in.
You're a
I
car
would take
guy.
it back to New York. Oh yeah,
You love that car.
I like that car.
Did you see it?
Not in person.
You're a real.
I'm just
race
saying.
car
I
guy.
mean, do you see other people? You invite guys in, or?
Hey, man.
I mean, what do you do to mix it up in a relationship? You get other guys?
Guys, that's so strange.
Who knows?
What?
You might want to bring.
Hey,
Other
not
people,
that.
other guys.
We're not-
I'll tell you what I don't want to see my girl get fucked by some dude. I know. Hey, I know I don't want that.
Then you can punish her. Then you can punish her for being
Nothing
a.
spices
Yeah,
it up like
but-
watching a girl get fucked by other
I never
guys.
said that, but I'm saying now that you bring it up, maybe you punish her for being a naughty girl.
Okay.
I mean, if you want me to do that, Brian,
Wait, I didn't ask you, you son of a
I
bitch.
don't know what's going on.
All right, bring up. Let's do some current events.
Current events?
Current events with Dov Davidoff.
Yeah.
And Brendan, Bryan, Kellen.
I'm uncomfortable with
What do you got-
with promoting
Oh, no.
this Cobb's date
Oh, no.
coming Friday, Saturday
Oh,
in
my
San Francisco.
God.
Mighty
Oh,
Ducks.
no.
Okay, so this was submitted by Richard Stacy. So this guy used to be on. Richard Stacy is a fan. We do fan submitted
Okay,
stories.
okay, all right.
So keep submitting. This is a guy who got arrested for breaking into somebody's garage.
Yes.
He actually broke their front windshield, and then he was found sitting in the car. They later found out that he used to be an actor. He used to be on Disney Channel's Mighty
wow,
Ducks.
yeah.
Well, no, he was in the movies.
Yeah, he was in the movies.
Yeah.
Oh, Mighty. It was either Fat Kid Gully.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't
he
put
was.
your children in acting class. Is that the point
I
here?
know, yeah.
What
is the
Bieber was on
percentage?
Ellen yesterday, and I guess he has some new documentary coming out.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah, it is on YouTube.
Yeah.
When's it come out?
I believe it's already out, and every week they'll release a new episode.
So they talk about it here because he suffers from well, at least he's skinnier now. But here's the thing.
God damn.
But
That's
Bieber was
him.
talking about
Yeah,
he's
that's
been
meth
famous
works.
since he was 13
Yeah.
and doing like these sold out shows, and he suffers from depression and all the
Yeah,
other shit he's on or whatever. And he was saying how he did all this like extensive research. It's in the documentary, and his dopamine at 13, and just performing private planes and getting this and this. His dopamine at that age, and then when it just drops from each showing up and drops, it fucks with a kid's head so bad.
Wow, his chemistry?
His chemistry gets so fucked up. So as he gets older, that dopamine it doesn't come back because at
And do you
such a
turn
young
to
age,
drugs?
it's here.
And he became like born again,
They start
right?
doing drugs.
It always
and-
gets weird.
But they're learning that young kids who are real famous with that dopamine release.
Wow.
That really fucks with the chemicals in their body. So that's why he suffers from depression now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. That I mean, it
When you think about it, like,
stands
that
to
makes
reason.
sense.
It does kind of.
It also
Listen,
why
if we don't dial down the kinds of things that we involve ourselves in, you can go out looking. You get guys going. Bring some other people in. I mean, a lot of guys have never said that.
They're always trying to get to the next level, dude.
Guys.
Listen, monogamy gets boring. I know, but you've also been with other women. I know, but if we could bring some. Why not bring a couple of
I
guys?
didn't say that, man. You guys have
Brendan,
been
you
worse.
drive a quick car. Can you be over here in 6 minutes?
You have any
That's why I
black
have
friends?
GT2 RS. And bring some ethnic guys with you. What?
You're putting
Why
words in-
ethnic guys? Big cuts?
You're putting words in my mouth, you sons of bitches.
Nah.
Although I'm
Yeah,
getting
but
horny.
when you think about it, like
Yeah.
that dopamine just and it happens with. I think it happens with athletes.
Happens with
fighters.
Oh, yeah.
I've never had certain fights. I'm
Look
like,
at guys.
come on, man, let's go. And it's like,
How many
and-
guys come back when they shouldn't? How many boxers have a good life, could go off into the sunset? But that's that thing. That's that thing that itch that money doesn't scratch. It's that pump. It's almost like a chemical.
Same thing with
you're
criminals.
chasing the tail of the
Chasing
dragon.
the
'cause you're
tail.
never
It's a
gonna
form
get
of
there.
addiction.
Well, same thing with criminals. Same thing anybody wants to do. Stand-up comics. I mean,
Criminals, yes.
part of what's weird about when you're on the road for a long time. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but you're on the road and you're alone all day. You're just alone, and then especially if you're on road,
300
and then,
people.
and then you hit it with
You have all this attention.
Yeah, and then
you're
it goes
alone in a
away.
hotel room. Or, what are you going to do? Go to a library at noon? You're going to go train? When you're in Columbus? You got broads. Now, after a while, the broads don't spike. They don't spike the endorphins like they used to.
You get the bro.
You bring in a couple of guys. You know what I mean?
Hey, man!
No,
next level,
nothing
dude.
gay about
What
it.
the
You're
fuck?
simply looking to get high.
I need a little juice. That's all.
listen.
I got Justin Bieber disease. Why not spice it up?
No, that's
That is that.
But that's why they say be careful what you wish
They
for.
did it. They did it. They've done really interesting study on the double helix of how a serial killer is created.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they'll fucking tell you is that a serial killer, exactly the same thing. They start with like a fetish, then they'll start killing animals, whatever, and they have to keep upping the ante.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things about that psychology is once you go to the next level, you never go back. You can never
never
go back.
dial it down.
You can never dial it down because you can't get the same rush.
Once you bring a guy into the room, you don't
Once you bring
dial
the guy,
it
in,
down.
then you
Yeah.
then you want to
Just
kill
like
him.
before
cop
you know
for
it,
the
you
rest of
get
your
two
life.
guys.
Then you want
Then no girl, just three guys.
Next thing you know, you're a gay man in a relationship.
All of a sudden, you're in a monogamous relationship with a man.
Yeah, but then
Because you were looking for a good time. It was all about sex. Now I live in West Hollywood
Right.
with a man.
and then that's not enough, so you have to kill him because you're ashamed.
Of course.
You're a serial killer.
You're a serial
And
killer.
then that's not enough, so then you got to drink
Not
his blood.
enough.
Then you got
Not
to drink
enough.
his blood.
Then you got to become a dictator.
Yeah.
Then you got to go. Yeah, no, there's no
Then
way.
you're a gay Dexter.
You're a gay. That's how you
Not
become a
only-
gay Dexter. That's the genealogy of a gay Dexter.
Yeah, the gay
so
Dexter.
that's the theme of this show should be called Gay Dexter.
Listen,
What else you got?
Be careful what you wish
Okay,
for.
so we talked about this guy before. This is the guy from Fyre
Fyre
Festival
Fest, yeah.
that went viral because he said that he was willing to suck dick for the Evian water to be released.
There you go.
He actually just got a sponsorship with Evian, and they're starting to release specifically made bottles that says Evian, so good you would do anything for it.
Wow.
So he's officially a spokesperson for Evian.
That's so
It's kind of
great.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
like, good on Evian for being funny. That's my favorite water.
You're right. Bad on
like
him
Fiji.
for
No,
what he's
people
willing to do for Avion.
People
Good
love
on
him.
Avion.
People love him. He's just a good employee.
He's there will suck.
Guys, I was ready to get on my knees and suck his dick for the water.
For Avion.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
He was
I
at
didn't
the
see it.
Fry Festival. They needed water, and he had to go talk to the town council guy.
Oh,
and
he was
said
the
whatever
guy.
it was, the guy who was okaying the water. And he
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
I was ready to get on my knees and to suck his cock.
Right, yeah.
And because the guy goes, if you, I don't care if you have to suck his cock, and he goes, man, I was going to suck his cock for the water.
Yeah.
And he was dead serious. That's a fucking
What a soldier.
That's a
That's a
soldier,
soldier.
dude. That's a
Yeah.
soldier.
No,
So if I
that's a
move in with a
soldier.
guy to spice things up, I'm doing it for water.
You're doing it for water,
Clean
man.
water.
Yeah.
So fuck you guys.
Yeah,
You're
why is all this Evian stocking up the fridge? Brian's got 32 bottles of Evian, 3 guys on the couch. What happened? I don't know. I'm a big fan of Evian.
That's right. I remember there was a girl who, yeah, well, she worked, this was 15 years ago. And she said, I was driving and she was driving me around and for a job. And it was a commercial job.
going.
And she said, I don't consider blowjobs to be sex.
Incredible.
Oh shit! It's like shaking a hand.
And I went, huh?
Oh,
Yeah.
instant
I went,
hard on.
Right. I go,
My dick goes.
I go, what do you mean? She goes, it's just something I love to do to please whoever.
Yeah.
It's like
they're
dogs
having a
sniffing
day.
butts.
And I was like, huh? Like
Oh,
if they're
dude.
under stress or something. She goes,
Yeah.
especially. And I go,
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
I go,
stressed, girl.
Yeah.
I'm under stress.
I got to take a test
I know.
tomorrow.
Yep. And I go,
Now I'm in this PT Cruiser.
Uh-huh.
Suck it.
she was driving a shitty car, which turns me on more.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And she had a thing hanging from the.
Yeah,
she
dice.
Had she had like
Yeah,
dice.
fuck yeah.
For the story, it was dice. It may not have been,
Yeah.
but it was something.
No,
Air
it was
freshener.
dice.
Yep.
It's air
And
freshener.
she had a Red Bull or a Coke or something. She
doesn't
didn't
matter.
eat well, and she was, and
She had
I
a
was
little
like,
bit of a gut.
no. She was cute. She was cute. She had but what you'd call tacky makeup that other girls are like, she's tacky and trashy, and you go, well,
That's
I
mommy.
like that.
That's mommy.
Yeah, I like
I'm gonna
trash.
dump in her mouth.
That's right. And then so I go, well, what about over there? And she goes, there? And I go, sure. I feel like I could relieve stress right
Is there
there.
a Taco Bell parking lot or
And it
something?
may as well have been had sex in a Taco Bell parking lot.
But not with her?
She kept her feet up. I go, you got to bring your feet down.
Yeah, 'cause we can
Feet are
see.
up, and people
We
can
can
see.
see. Yeah.
And I was like, bring your feet down. You got to bend your feet.
Haven't you ever
I
seen
kept-
the movies?
I kept bending her off. I kept
God
bending her
dang,
fucking
girl.
feet.
Come on,
She
girl.
was a great kid.
Yeah.
And there she was. She was
Great
kicking her
kid,
feet
great kid.
and kicking her feet against the window.
But, hey, but
She had her boots on still. And I go,
Oh,
you gotta
wow.
bring your feet down. I kept bringing her feet down. She kept kicking them up. Bring her feet down again. She kept kicking them up. So one after another, it was a big problem. Either way, we didn't get caught, and I didn't care. And then, I remember that she pulled over, and that was that. And
she sucked you off.
She sure did, and she really enjoyed
What a
it.
good girl.
Yeah, and my stress was gone.
Is she still around?
She probably isn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
She probably died of shame. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
I
what
don't
happened
think
with
she
her.
had shame to begin with.
No.
You know what's so original about Brian is he was in a car with a girl who said, I don't consider blowjob sex, which is the same thing as her going, I'm going to suck you off right now.
Yeah.
Brian's first thought was, she probably doesn't eat so healthy. Yeah. She probably doesn't eat that healthy.
looked at your
But I'm
diet
going to do it
lately?
anyway.
Well, there was a Coke, and it was the morning.
Have you been drinking water?
You're drinking Coca-Cola in the morning.
Yeah, what's up with the Red Bull? That probably wouldn't have been my first question.
Either.
You want to suck my cock? Well, are you going to get rid of the soda?
Are you going to quit drinking Red Bull?
Are you gonna fucking? Can we get that soda out of the truck before you suck me
Do you
off
mind if we
for-
just get
for
rid of the
no
Red
money?
Bull?
What happened to Evian? Evian's no good for you.
Exactly. Can I get you involved in vitamin C before you suck me off? Do you take a multivitamin? Okay, I'm gonna let you do it, but you gotta promise me you can take a multivitamin.
You gotta be healthier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wild qualification to suck a
course it
cock.
is. Of course it is.
What is you got, Chin?
Oh, God.
Okay, so after the Grammys, Lizzo threw an after party at the strip club Crazy Girl strip club here in LA, and she bought out the whole place so her and a bunch of her friends can go and party after the Grammys.
Okay.
There's a video of
thanks.
There's a video of Dua Lipa throwing money at a stripper's
Ooh, I love
ass.
Dua Lipa.
And a lot of people were upset with her, saying that wasn't feminist, and so now they're trying to cancel her.
This one here?
Yeah.
I hate people.
A lot of people are coming to her defense, though.
They're mad because she threw dollar bills at a stripper?
Yeah.
Do they realize that's how strippers make a living?
Yeah.
Yes,
And they're
yes,
in
And
the
they,
strip
and they
club.
think this is against the women movement?
It's weird because they say it's anti-feminist of her to do that, but you
Yeah, I
also
get
shouldn't
it.
stigmatize sex workers, so it doesn't make sense.
Stigmatize. How do you stigmatize someone who's got their ass?
This can't be too big of a movement.
I love this. This cancel culture is eating its own tail. It's such a bullshit.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
don't count.
right.
They don't matter.
But
It's six
this is
people.
like what? Maybe the 20,000.
It's probably-
But, and yet they do matter because they've really damaged careers.
Yeah.
What you're saying is right. There aren't that many
less
of them.
and less, though. Less and less.
Yes, maybe less and less.
And
But they've
also the people
hurt
whose
some
careers
people.
they've damaged
Yeah.
kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Well, a
Should
lot of
be
the ones
fine,
that we're
right?
thinking
Should
about.
be fine.
But
Oh,
there-
now this is a flash. In the
Yeah, no, this would be okay.
Yeah.
But I think there are guys in companies that you don't always hear about. I think a lot of people have been damaged, maybe in ways that we haven't heard about. You're right. Listen, Bill Cosby brought him on himself, but he's not representative of a Me Too thing. Whereas CK got jammed up in a bad way. Now, he's not canceled, and we'll all
He's not
everybody will
canceled,
take
he's
him
gonna
back.
be fine.
No, he's going to be fine.
He's not gonna have a
It's
show
gonna be
on
fine.
FX.
But he had 13 different things going on that he worked years on. They got ripped out from under him. So I mean, I don't know.
She's so fucking bad. But
Jesus,
here's the
she's
thing.
hot.
Yeah, I'll
Jesus
pay
Christ.
her money.
Yeah, no, but you're right. You're right. It's going to happen less
Pay her
and
a
less.
lot.
I would
Papa
imagine.
makes a lot of money. Not as much as her,
Jesus,
but we'll
she's
figure
so
it
hot.
out. But the thing with Louis C.K., it's like, oh, and everyone's up in arms. Like, you can't, I mean, he didn't rape anybody, and he just jacked out in front of people. It's like,
no.
hey, dude, you can't do that.
Right,
Do I think he should
right.
lose all his?
Of course,
no,
that's the
Of course
thing.
not.
Listen,
he shouldn't.
not
There has to
every-
be some repercussions.
But
Not
he does
everything is a
take
murder
heat
felony.
He does take heat for even showing up at comedy clubs at this point. right?
No. He
From
could sell out an
cancel
entire
culture
world
crew.
tour.
He what?
He could sell out an entire world.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
for
he
sure.
could.
That's for sure.
No, and his
No,
new-
but they
his
gave
new
Noam
hour. He'll never be
at the
he's gonna be
comedy
so big.
cellar. At the comedy cellar, they gave Noam there were people writing in from. There was a big social media thing, but they wrote in saying we can't believe you put him back on at the club.
That was a while ago, though, right? Because he was in
months
San
ago?
Jose Improv like right before I was there, and they're like, "Oh, the show sold out." And
Oh no, I'm not
2
saying
minutes.
I'm not saying he's not selling
shows.
shows.
Like-
6 shows, yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, were there any problems?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, the problem was we didn't have enough."
Yeah, we didn't have enough seats. Yeah, yeah. Well, who
I
wouldn't wanna see
go
it?
with their protesters. He goes, "No. People were just mad we didn't have
Yeah,
enough seats."
yeah.
And he wanted to
Yeah.
do more shows.
Fucking San Jose doesn't give a fuck. San Jose,
Yeah, yes, yeah.
they're,
Oh, no,
they're
hey,
awesome.
me, the world doesn't give a fuck.
The world doesn't give a
No,
fuck.
Louis C.K.
Yeah.
What's the price he should pay?
He's already
lost
paid it.
millions.
You know who
millions of
cares?
dollars.
Public companies care. So if you're looking to get a movie financed, you'll care. If you're talking about selling tickets, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I'll buy a ticket to see him. Like, I mean, and I think everybody else will too.
Now, if he actually raped a girl, I'm out.
different.
Totally. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Jacking off in front
Absolutely.
of people.
And that there's a even that
Fine
story,
line.
Yeah, there's. Do you know Louis pretty well?
Well, I wouldn't say well, but certainly I've sat at the table with him a number of times, and he's a thoughtful. I mean, in my experience, sweet,
Brilliant,
thoughtful, decent,
brilliant.
definitely
Yeah.
brilliant,
Yeah.
high level talent, and you cancel a guy like that. He was one of the few guys really doing original work, whether or not you thought the show was funny or whatever. Like
Original.
it was high level shit that he's up to.
He's also Mexican.
Yeah, half Mexican, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know.
Yeah, he's like half Mexican, half Eastern European, some Hungarian.
Huh.
Well, with CK, I thought was like it was one of those things that
Weird,
you
yeah.
could spell. Like it was like if you think about like a Hungarian name,
What's his
with
real
like
last name?
KEWZ or
I didn't think
something
of-
like.
What is his real
He's
last name?
Mexican, though.
I don't know what
They'll-
Louis'
they'll
real
claim
last
him a
name
little
is,
bit.
but it was definitely. There you go.
Wow.
That's why you shorten it to CK.
Zek.
You just wouldn't know how to.
Zek.
Yeah.
Wow. 52 years old? I don't know. Interesting.
What else you guys got?
I got. You guys talking about monogamy?
Sure.
So this soccer, there was a soccer game. I'm sure you guys heard about this guy already.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I haven't. I don't know.
Oh, did you?
What I?
Yeah.
So this guy, he was on the big jumbotron.
Yeah.
So watch this.
Fuck.
This is during the broadcast. He sees himself on the jumbotron, and then he takes his arm off, and he looks. Look at the guilt. He looks super guilty. Right?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no, this guy's got jammed
Yeah.
up.
So that was a side piece.
Oh, you do not want to be him on his way
Don't
home.
kiss your fucking side piece at a game.
Oh my
But this is
God.
how he explained himself too, right here.
Well, he's Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So watch this.
Like,
If it was a woman was in my place, what would you do? Huh? Various
What does that
videos
even
have been
mean?
circulating of unfaithful women, but they haven't been made fun of as much as me. I hope you'll never have to be in my position. Hey,
Andre,
and I'm defending my honor and my pride as a man until the end. We all fail and we all repent. Thank you for those who have invited me to church. And if I got it, so I can heal my family.
It's so great.
No one is going to be able to damage my image. God is big and strong, and these women who are criticizing me, I know too have cheated, but they
great.
still comment. Bravo!
You realize, bravo. No, that guy turned
You've already
getting...
destroyed my relationship. What more do you want? Hey, listen. Yeah,
He
you
got
don't know the
caught cheating
psychological
and
damage.
turned it into the eulogy
great.
for a bullfight.
It's the praise.
That's what happened.
You don't know the psychological damage you have
This
caused
guy's genius.
with your hatred directed at me.
Yes.
Everyone fails, and we can forgive from our
Right,
hearts.
yes.
God, give me strength.
He did. He turned
Bravo.
himself into a martyr.
And
He
now everyone's
literally...
all,
Yeah, people are like, wow. Oh, bellissimo.
Looking around like,
Just slowly build.
kind of right there.
God, give us strength.
Yeah.
Millions of
Get the woman.
That's one way to do it right there, that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's
hey,
amazing.
you know, that's Spain.
Yeah.
Spain's like, they're all like, hey, the president has a side
Don't
piece.
they take
Everyone's like,
naps
get
because
the
they
fuck
fuck
out
so
of
much? Like that's what they do there. They have
That is-
siesta.
Yeah, that's why they take naps.
Well, it was, but Francois Mitterrand, who was I think he was president for 12 years or longer. He had
Of Spain?
He had his mistress was at his
Yeah,
funeral.
right.
His
Yeah,
mistress was at his funeral.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the French president,
Yeah.
and France knew it. And France didn't say
Everyone kept their
fucking
mouth shut.
boo. I mean, they,
Ask him about monogamy.
yeah, I mean, the Italians, the Spanish, the French.
You think he was bringing guys into fucking Brian?
Yeah.
Guys,
Well, listen, you
figured
get
it
bored.
out.
Hey, Brendan, you get bored.
well, Bertolucci.
You gotta spice it
who
up.
was it? Who was it? The
Spice.
Who was the president of fucking?
Some people
Italy?
buy lingerie, by the
The-
way, to create spice. Some
the
people
pre- the
get,
pre-
maybe take a Yohimbi route. Some people bring in ethnics.
Yo, him be rude. Hold on. Who was the guy? Who was the president of Italy? The really flamboyant one. He had orgies. I mean, he was.
Oh, you're
just,
talking about Berlusconi?
Berlusconi.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
motherfucker.
Oh, he
was-
shook it up.
Oh, the
Although I don't think
plastic
he was married.
surgery. I mean,
Yeah.
he fucking.
Yeah, no, that guy
Who
was
was the
wild,
girl
yeah.
who he was banging? She was literally
Yeah, but she was like
Delicious.
17.
Oh, you got to see her.
She was a kid, though.
I don't know what she was. but-
I mean,
Italy-
there wasn't
Italy-
only one. There was
Italy
like
was
the
like
one
this.
that they got angry
Yeah,
about.
Italy was like, you know, he's.
But we've had that too. Like JFK was fucking, man.
Oh,
Trump fucked.
yeah, bro.
Yeah, but
Probably
they didn't
not
have
now,
20,
everyone's
they
watching,
didn't
but
have
Trump-
24 hour,
fucks.
but they didn't have 24-hour news. Oh, Trump, yeah.
Trump fucks.
Trump's
Look
been
at him.
caught.
That's what I'm saying. But JFK,
But JFK wasn't. There was no big thing made about it. And he was banging a lot.
nonstop.
Apparently, yeah,
it was great.
Look at
Holy shit, she's delicious.
Nah, he has a whole slew. The guy had orgies.
Well, you got
There
to
you
spice
go.
it up. You got to.
What happened? He's the most powerful man in Italy. The fuck? Italy, they just kind of go, hey, come on, look at him. Awesome. I mean, no,
I
not.
bet he has no mafia ties.
No, he is the mafia, dude. He
He's
has
busting
eyelids.
nuts,
He had his
dude.
eyelids
He's
done.
busting a
He had the
talent
Brian
nut.
Callen surgeon soon to come.
Yeah, you think you got the eyes done?
Oh, yeah. He had the eyes done.
Done,
Yeah.
what do you think of Brian getting some shit done on his face?
Brian looks great. He doesn't need anything. What are you talking about? You're not getting anything done.
He makes fun of me. He tells me I got a slinky neck. Son of a bitch.
Listen, we're all getting older. You know, I'm not winning any awards.
Did you watch the wrestling match that Brendan and I had?
No,
You did.
I'm a heterosexual.
No, we had.
What do you got anything
No,
else?
what do you
Jim?
mean? How? What you? I mean,
Well, you would
mean
appreciate-
it was funny because
you-
otherwise Brendan would just put you on your back and spice it up, as you would say. Hey, Brendan, did you spice it up when you had him pinned?
He picked me.
Well, you have a mask on.
I got a bunch of guys all bunched up. My favorite was the guy who was like, fucking, what would he do? Like, could he just beat the shit out of you? I go,
Which one of your friends asked
I said,
that?
I don't know who it was. I go,
None.
Oh, they were questioning whether or not it would be an actual
I
fight.
go, the guy trained a little. I go, hey, look at me. I go, you're going to hate when I say this to you.
Yeah.
Brendan could fuck you.
Oh yeah, of
And
course.
there's nothing you're going to do about it.
Yeah, no, but does he not know that?
Guys
guy
don't like to
shouldn't be
hear
your
that.
friend.
Guys don't like to hear it.
Whoever.
Guys don't like to hear.
That
It's
guy
like,
shouldn't be your friend.
Why do I have
know.
divots in my head?
Do you want to see this real quick? End it on this?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Oh, I mean,
and a lot of people saw what you did to me over here, and I took some shit because I didn't fight back.
Get your hand on my face. Before I treat you like a jockey.
I'm not a jockey. I'm sure as fucking.
Dude, you're my jockey.
Don't touch my hand.
You've been hanging with actors too much.
We don't have that. No, I knew you were gonna do that. Reverse it.
Your wig fell off. If I stand up, what the fuck are you gonna do, Brian?
Fucking get out of here! Yeah, but you gotta take it easy.
Well, this is nothing. Okay, there we
This is nothing. Well, this is nothing.
I was trying to do a show.
Double leg.
Okay.
That's good stuff. That's fun.
That's cool. Bullshit!
You remember he started this.
There goes my wrist!
Gamora.
Watch this, watch this.
You broke the couch too.
You're not doing this. Start doing that. That was the worst. 8621.
Yeah, 86.
my hair.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
That's good stuff. That's what we call.
I got to train more. Cleveland. This weekend, I'm teaching a seminar how to fight bigger guys. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
West Palm Beach. Let's get some tickets.
You're not at West Palm Beach tomorrow.
No, West Palm Beach. I'm there Valentine's Day
Weekend.
February
Yeah,
14th,
it's very
15th,
confusing,
16th.
Abby.
Sorry.
Tomorrow you're at Cleveland Hilarities.
Cleveland
Thursday,
Hilarities
Friday,
tomorrow.
Saturday.
Thank you, Brendan.
Please bring your mask.
Yes, you're at Cobb's.
Cobb's in
Not
San
Shops, but
Francisco.
Cobb's.
Shops.
in
I'll
San
be at Chubb's.
Francisco.
If he wants to
You
spice
wish,
it up,
Playboy.
I will be at Chubb's. Depends if he wants to spice things up a little bit.
Dov Davidoff,
Doesn't
one,
make you get.
one of the best comics on the planet.
So fun.
Cobb's, San Francisco. Thank you guys for having me. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
One of the
man.
I
great
appreciate it.
comics.
Thank you.
I'm in Columbus, Ohio, Friday, Saturday. Next week, San Antonio, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then Valentine's Day weekend, Ontario, California. Get you some. Vancouver, we got 100 tickets left. Vogue Theater, Just for Laughs comedy tour. tfatk.com. Dove, we appreciate it, brother. Let's mix it up, you guys. What are you doing? Just a fun kid. We're out.